Douluo, Thunder Dragon Martial Soul, 100 Years of Glory. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126, the 124th, titled Douluo. But before they could reach their target, they encountered two unexpected figures. Two powerful auras suddenly manifested in the valley. Who is it? The leader of the ambush team cried out in alarm. The newcomers made no secret of their presence, and upon seeing the two, the leader's soul Douluo's eyes lit up with shock. Elder. Greetings, Elder Snakespear and Elder Thorny Porpoise. Yes. Stand back. Send that chrysanthemum and old ghost over. Thorny Porpoise, Douluo said. But there was no need for the soul Douluo to report, as two powerful forces were rapidly approaching from a distance. Oh. It's Little Porpoise and Little Dragon. Their voices were heard before they even arrived. Snakespear Douluo's real name was Shilong. Thorny Porpoise Douluo and Snakespear Douluo couldn't help but clench their fists at the sound of this infuriating voice. It was because of this nickname that they were titled Douluo, after all, and being called that in public. If they hadn't been in danger of losing to the two, they would have rushed in and given them a beating. Thorny Porpoise Douluo, titled Douluo at level 93. Snakespear Douluo, titled Douluo at level 94. Comic version. Soon, Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo appeared in the valley. Long time no see. Chrysanthemum Douluo greeted Snakespear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo with a familiar air. Although Douluo was a man, he preferred feminine beauty, so his words and actions were remarkably feminine. Perhaps he was missing his sister, Douluo Yuguan, as a child. Hehe. Ghost Douluo's laughter was eerie. HMPH. Seeing them approach, Snakespear Douluo snorted coldly and got straight to business. The young master has ordered you to cancel this operation. Hehe. Since it's the young master's order, then retreat. Ghost Douluo waved his hand. Going back might lead to scolding, but not returning would surely make the young master remember it. To Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo, the current young master wasn't to be feared. The formidable thing was the great patron behind the young master. Led by Crown Prince Zuking, they arrived safely in Spirit City. Yibai was puzzled by the lack of Spirit Hall personnel blocking their way. However, Yibai knew that the quietness now would be matched by the bustle once Tang San's identity was fully exposed. Of course, that wasn't his concern. He only needed to protect his own side. If no one was trying to stop them now, the situation after the competition was uncertain. Such good fortune wasn't always this. Spirit City, a miraculous city nestled between the Heaven Dao Empire and the Star Luo Empire, bordered the Great Star Dao Forest. The Spirit Hall's immense power was such that even the three supreme sects would be annihilated in a matter of minutes. It was also a sacred place for the vast majority of spirit masters across the continent. Naturally, even the three supreme sects, the Heaven Dao Imperial Family and the Star Luo Imperial Family, didn't consider the Spirit Hall a sacred place. Spirit City's outline is defined by a 40-meter high hexagonal wall. This imposing wall, beyond its beauty, serves as a defense against spirit beasts. The six-winged mountain, encircling the wall, adds a touch of grandeur and majesty to Spirit City. The steep peaks, like a giant bat spreading its wings, guard this sacred site. The heart of Spirit City, the Pope's Hall and the Elder's Hall, are situated on the mountainside, overlooking both Spirit City and the Douluo continent. The inhabitants of Spirit City are all Spirit Masters, at least level 20 Great Spirit Masters. Originally, the finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition were not scheduled for Spirit City. However, for unknown reasons, the Spirit Hall suddenly changed course and moved the finals there. It now appears this was to promote the three Spirit Kings from the Spirit Hall team. The Spirit Hall wanted to build momentum for these three Soul Kings. The Spirit Master competition took place directly in front of the Pope's Hall. The 5 teams that won the ranking competition, along with 3 teams from the Xingluo Empire, the Cheyenne Dao Empire, and the Spirit Hall, that advanced directly to the finals, totaling 8 teams, would battle it out here. The format for the finals was simple, a 7-player elimination tournament. This spirit city is truly extraordinary. There aren't even ordinary people here. Feng Xiaoshan exclaimed with emotion. He could sense a considerable spirit power from practically every person he passed. Huo Washan, of course. The spirit city isn't called holy for nothing. Blazing Fire Academy enjoyed a close honeymoon period with Wuji Academy due to Feng Xiaoshan's relationship with Huo Wu. While the Wuji and Blazing Fire Academy members were still strolling around the Spirit Hall, Yun Yibai, the Wuji Academy captain and representative, went to the Spirit Hall to draw the first round opponents. In fact, neither Douluo nor the three Soul Douluo clan leaders from Wuji Academy were present. As for the reason, those who knew would understand. On the way to the draw, Yun Yibai was with Blazing Fire Academy's Dean of Studies, Lai Wei. By the time he and Lai Wei arrived, Flanders of Shrek Academy, Yushaojin of Thunder Academy, and Lan Ruobing of Xianshu Academy were already there. When the three saw Yun Yibai, they were quite surprised, but they quickly realized that Yun Yibai held a high position within Wuji Academy. Even if titled Douluo Douluo and the three Soul Douluo clan leaders weren't in attendance, Wuji Academy should have had Soul Emperor level teachers. While Flanders and Lan Ruobing were simply surprised, Yushaojin was more thoughtful. The direct descendants, who had previously been de-emphasized by the family, had surpassed Yu Xiangxin and Yun Xianheng in their growth rate. It's important to understand that Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin had always been nurtured by the family, while Yun Yibai had been raised outside, receiving very few family resources. Even without focused training, direct descendants still received basic benefits. Yu Xiaojin felt it necessary to report this to clan leader Yu Yuanzhen after the competition. An 18-year-old Soul King, a direct descendant of the family with the fourth ring of 10,000 years. If he grows up smoothly, it will be beneficial to the entire Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. Maybe Yun Yibai has resentment towards the family, but the blood connection is still there, which cannot be broken. Moreover, it is never too late to mend the fold after the sheep have been lost. Although it is late, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan has been passed down for so many years, it is not that it cannot produce any good things. High-year soul rings, even soul bones. In the face of a talented person like Yun Yibai, it is not impossible to invest in them. After a while, Bebe Ocean from Xiandao Royal Academy, Dailun from Xingluo Royal Academy, and Cardinal Corkin from the Spirit Hall also arrived. The meeting tonight is too long. There may be only 2 chapters. Chapter 127 Wuji vs. Crossing a Luo, One Man vs. Netherworld White Tiger. Wuji Academy sent only a youngster like you? Spirit Hall Cardinal Corkin entered the arena and scanned the room. Yun Yibai's age was the most striking feature. His tone was slightly discontent, suggesting that Wuji Academy wasn't taking the competition seriously. Corkin had been in Spirit City for years, so naturally, he didn't know Yun Yibai. He had only heard that a young Spirit King with a 10,000-year 4th Spirit Ring had emerged this year, but he had no idea who it was. Not everyone in Spirit Hall was paranoid. While Corkin, like the other cardinals, believed in Bibidang's leadership, he wasn't overbearing. Forget it. Let's draw lots. Corkin was unhappy that Wuji Academy had sent a youngster, but he didn't want to create any complications at this time. Yun Yibai felt a sense of relief when nothing unexpected happened. At that moment, his attitude toward the Spirit Hall had improved somewhat. Not all Spirit Hall Spirit Masters were arrogant and domineering. Soon, after several people drew lots, the results for the first round of matchups were announced. Wuji Academy vs Xingluo Royal Academy, Shrek Academy vs Blazing Academy, Wuhan Hall vs Xiandao Royal Academy, and Liting Academy vs Xianshu Academy. Boss, tell me, who are our first round opponents? Oscar asked upon seeing Yun Yibai return. They had already returned from their shopping trip. Xingluo Royal Academy. Yun Yibai pulled out a document from his storage soul guide ring. After all, Xingluo Royal Academy was a C team from the Xingluo Empire, on the other side of the Xiandao Empire, so they were still unfamiliar with it. Xingluo Royal Academy, all Soul Masters, and the team captain is the Crown Prince of the Xingluo Empire. A member of Xingluo Royal Academy, Davis, captain of the Douluo royal team. His spirit is the evil-eyed white tiger, with a spirit power level of 48, making him a strong attack type soul master. Zhu Zuan. His spirit is the nether spirit cat, with a spirit power level of 47, making him a sensitive attack type soul master. She and Davis can perform the spirit fusion skill, nether white tiger. Ingwen. His spirit is the expanding buffalo, with a soul power level of 44, belonging to the strong attack type battle soul sect. Tang Hangning. His spirit is the sharp thunder jackal, with a soul power level of 43, belonging to the agility type battle soul sect. Li Yang. His spirit is the reflection mirror, with a soul power level of 42, belonging to the agility type battle soul sect. Dan Hui. His spirit is the supreme good as water, with a soul power level of 40, belonging to the support type battle soul sect. Yang Mingxin. His spirit is the supreme good as water, with a soul power level of 40, also belonging to the support type battle soul sect. The next day, the finals of the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition officially began. The first round was between Wuji Academy and Douluo Royal Academy. Match begin. The referee's command signaled, and the highly anticipated competition finally began. As the horn sounded, Davis' spirit possessed him. His spirit rings shimmered, and a shield of shimmering silver white light suddenly appeared on his body. His spirit skill, White Tiger Body Barrier. The Douluo Imperial Family's Day Clan's Evil-Eyed White Tiger Martial Spirit and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Clan's Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Martial Spirit battle for supremacy as the continent's Supreme Beast Spirit. Their title is not without reason. Both the Evil-Eyed White Tiger and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Clan share the same first three spirit skills. After all, these three skills represent the ultimate refinement of these families' countless refinements. Davis and Zhu Zuan took action. Meanwhile, the entire Wuji Academy attacked. Du Guyan's poison is powerful, but it's a double-edged sword. While it inflicts damage on its opponent, it also harms its own teammates. Yibai's spirit possessed him, swelling with golden lightning. The battle between the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Evil-Eyed White Tiger erupted once again. However, this time, the battle might not be evenly matched. Having reached the finals, Yibai aimed to swiftly defeat his opponent. Yibai's three spirit rings ignited simultaneously. Davis's understanding of Yibai was ultimately insufficient. The combined power of Yibai's first three spirit abilities sent Davis flying backwards in their first clash. The rest of the Douluo Royal Academy team, left behind by Davis, rushed forward to catch him after he was knocked back. Go. Crush them. Yibai waved his hand, and the entire Wuji Academy, save for Yilingling and Oscar, pressed forward. Then, aided by Oscar's flying mushroom spirit ability, the 7 Douluo Empire members were completely overwhelmed. The advantage of flight was immense. Davis naturally refused to accept this outcome, so he and Zhu Zuan jointly unleashed the unique spirit fusion technique of the Evil-Eyed White Tiger and a Netherworld Spirit Cat, Netherworld White Tiger. The appearance of the Netherworld White Tiger filled the entire arena with a solemn atmosphere. It was a massive white tiger, several feet tall, radiating a faint blue light, its size like cold stars, gleaming with a cold light. Its body was sturdy and powerful, and every movement rippled with spirit energy. Yibai stared at the Netherworld White Tiger before him, his lips curled up as a flicker of fighting desire finally rose within him. The combined martial arts fusion technique of a level 48 and 47 Soul Master was already a threat to him. Leave this tiger to me. You guys quickly eliminate the others. Yibai declared, charging towards Davis. While he longed for a good fight, this was ultimately a team battle, and victory was paramount. HMPH, you're overestimating yourself. Davis sneered at the onrushing Yibai. He controlled the Netherworld White Tiger, opening its maw, and biting towards Yibai. However, Yibai's speed was astonishing. As if anticipating the tiger's movements, he shifted his body slightly in midair, dodging its attack. The combined martial arts technique of Davis and Zhu Zuan had already enabled Yibai to unleash his dragon transformation. Golden lightning surged wildly around Yibai, his arms transforming into dragon claws beneath the golden lightning. Then, Yibai's palm slammed down like lightning, striking the nether white tiger's eyes. The nether white tiger, sensing the sudden threat from Yibai, roared furiously, its roar attempting to intimidate Yibai, but it was futile. The nether white tiger immediately raised its claws and launched a fierce attack forward. Yibai's agile movement was simply beyond the nether white tiger's reach. Yibai landed beneath the nether white tiger, his dragon claws lashing out with lightning as he struck at its abdomen. Though there was no blood, a significant amount of soul power was released. Roar. The pain was felt directly through Davison Zhu Zuan. Then, the nether white tiger's soul power erupted, knocking Yibai back. Meanwhile, without Davison Zhu Zuan, 2 high-ranking soul masters, the remaining Douluo Royal Academy members were no match for the 1 Soul King, and 3 soul masters, especially Feng Xiaoshan, a level 49 soul master with both offensive prowess and speed. Chapter 128 Reorganized Thunder Academy. Therefore, within a mere minute of Yibai's battle with the nether white tiger, Ying Wenyi, Tang Hongning, Li Yang, Deng Hui, and Yang Mingxin from the Douluo Empire were decisively eliminated. Although it was a 4-on-5 battle, the advantage still swung towards Wuji Academy. After defeating the 5 low-level soul masters from the Douluo Royal Academy, Wuji Academy began to close in on the nether white tiger. A battle between soul masters and those without was inherently lopsided. Seeing that Du Guyan and the others had already concluded the battle, Yibai's 4th 10,000-year spirit ring illuminated. Roar. The nether white tiger roared, opening its mouth and unleashing a wave of light at Yibai as he prepared to unleash his spirit ability. His 4th spirit ability, Ice Fang Thunder Dragon Fist. Lightning swirled around the pillar, a chilling chill. The nether white tiger's light wave collided with Yibai's unleashed spirit ability. Compared to the single attribute nether white tiger's light wave, Yibai's Ice Fang Thunder Dragon Fist proved even more powerful. Yibai's golden lightning continuously disrupted the energy of the nether white tiger's light wave. Lightning pillars enveloped the white tiger's light waves, and the icy blue ice instantly froze the nether white tiger. The nether white tiger didn't even need to use its own soul power to break the ice. Yibai's lightning power erupted instantly, its powerful force shattering the ice on the nether white tiger, scattering into countless tiny ice crystals. The ice lightning superconductor weakened the nether white tiger's overall resistance, inflicting even greater damage. Roar. The nether white tiger roared under the combined impact of lightning and ice. 4th soul skill, Demon Wolf Storm. Feng Xiaoshan had already positioned himself above the nether white tiger and unleashed his 4th soul skill at it. 4th soul skill, Sunburst. Yang Te concentrated his soul power into a single point and swung his soul-breaking spear at the nether white tiger. Yushan was simple and brutal. After using several soul skills, his entire body's defenses increased significantly, and he then smashed towards the nether white tiger. Du Guyan's poison had already spread to the nether white tiger even as Yibai unleashed his ice attribute attack. As expected. Haha, this is truly a fusion of 2 high-level soul masters. Yibai thought to himself, watching the nether white tiger, still standing firm despite their combined attacks. Yibai didn't give the nether white tiger any chance to breathe. He flashed again, appearing at its flank like a ghost. This time, he clenched his fists, gathering all his strength, preparing to deliver the final blow. 4th soul skill, Lightning Ice Break. A variation of the 4th soul skill, Ice Fang Thunder Dragon Fist, transformed a ranged attack into a melee attack, combining the power of lightning and ice. As Yibai rapidly approached, a powerful energy coalesced in his fist. Golden lightning and icy blue ice intertwined, forming a dazzling brilliance that illuminated the entire arena. The beam instantly slammed into the netherworld white tiger, its body trembling violently under the powerful energy shockwave. It attempted to resist with its own soul power, but it seemed powerless against Yibai's 10,000-year soul skill. Bang! With a deafening roar, the netherworld white tiger's body was completely blasted back by the overwhelming energy, slamming heavily against the edge of the ring. It struggled to its feet, but ultimately collapsed to the ground. A flash of light revealed Davison Zhu Zuan at the edge of the ring. Match over. The referee's voice rang out again, announcing the final result. Thanks to Yibai's outstanding performance, Wuji Academy triumphed over crossing Douluo Royal Academy and advanced to the next round. The audience erupted in thunderous applause and cheers, applauding Yun Yibei's impressive performance. Yun Yibei's victory over the martial soul fusion skill wasn't surprising to the spectators. Perhaps they assumed that a 10,000-year soul skill unleashed by a Soul King would be just that powerful. After the match between Wuji Academy and Xingluo Royal Academy, Shrek Academy faced Blazing Academy. However, for unknown reasons, Blazing Academy surrendered. When Thunder Academy faced Xianshu Academy also conceded. Seeing these results, Yun Yibai could roughly guess what the three Elemental Academies were planning. Perhaps this was the Elemental Academy's last stand. In the final match, the Spirit Hall Elite team faced Xiandao Royal Academy. As expected, the match was over in 3 minutes. The Spirit Hall Elite team crushed Xiandao Royal Academy. The pace of the match was quite fast. The next day, the semi-finals began. The 4 teams faced off, the Spirit Hall Elite team against Thunder Academy, and Wuji Academy against Shrek Academy. Yun Yibai absolutely didn't believe there wasn't some ulterior motive. In this match between Wuji Academy and Shrek Academy, victory for either side would come at a heavy price. The finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Masters competition were simple. The format wasn't a points-based competition. It was a one-on-one elimination tournament with teams competing until the champion was determined. First up were the Spirit Hall Elite team and the Thunder Academy. However, the Thunder Academy's roster couldn't be described as the same team. It was completely transformed. The only true Thunder Academy members were Yu Xiangxin and Lei Dang. The others had been replaced by Yu Xianheng from the former Xiandao Royal Academy, Xu Bing'er and Zhu Wu from Xianshu Academy, and Huo Wu and Huo Washang from Blazing Fire Academy. The audience was stunned by the spectacle. The finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition had unfolded with such dramatic drama. The Thunder Academy had practically a completely new team. Oh my god. Oscar exclaimed in astonishment at the sight of the Thunder Academy's nearly completely renovated team. So they were waiting here for Blazing Fire Academy and Xianshu Academy's surrender yesterday. Oscar was making a fuss in the front, while Yun Yibai and Feng Xiaoshan sat in the back. What do you think? Yun Yibai asked Feng Xiaoshan. I didn't expect them to break down the barriers between the elemental academies, Feng Xiaoshan said. The reason the Xiandao Empire has 5 elemental academies is, on the one hand, due to the influence of the extreme flow ideology, and on the other hand, due to the struggles between the major factions within the Xiandao Empire. Our 5 elemental academies are merely pushed to the front, pawns in the open struggle. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, The Power Behind the Elemental Academy. In fact, the senior teachers of the 5 elemental academies are very clear that, if the 5 elemental academies unite and send a joint team to participate in the All-Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition, even the Xiandao Royal Academy may have to avoid their edge. The academy team sent by the 5 elemental academies will definitely be extremely strong, perhaps a team that can compete with the elite academies of the Spirit Hall. The teachers of the 5 elemental academies may agree with this idea, but the people behind the 5 elemental academies will not allow it. The royal family of the Xiandao Empire and even the powerful people will not allow it. The deans of the 5 elemental academies are all spokesmen sent by the forces supporting their respective academies. The Blue Lightning Tyrant sect of the Thunder Academy, the Elephant Armor sect of the Elephant Armor Academy, and our Shen Feng Academy are also secretly supported by the Wind Sword sect of the lower 4 sects. The Fire Leopard sect of the lower 4 sects is behind the Blazing Fire Academy. The Xianshu Academy is backed by a hidden sect in the north of the continent. The force behind Xianshu Academy is the most mysterious, and I don't know anything more. However, although the Wind Sword sect and the Fire Leopard sect are also sects of the lower 4 sects, they are still within the Xingluo Empire and their interference in our Shen Feng Academy and Blazing Fire Academy is not strong. The purpose of the Wind Sword sect and the Fire Leopard sect supporting our Shen Feng Academy and Blazing Fire Academy is to provoke competition among the 5 elemental academies in the Xiandao Empire. To put it bluntly, it is to prevent our academies from uniting. Aside from the Fire Leopard sect and the Windsword sect, the two supporting forces that are causing trouble, the rest, whether it is the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex clan, the Elephant Armor sect, or the hidden sect behind Shianshu Academy, are not easy to deal with. In short, the 5 elemental academies are a platform for these major forces to train young disciples, and these 5 major forces are reluctant to let go. As for Yibai took over. As for the Shiandao Empire, although the 5 elemental academies would be powerful if they united, for these top dignitaries, a separate 5 elemental academy is what they would like to see. The 5 elemental academies united is not in their interests, because that would already touch their cake and eat it. Since the 5 elemental academies failed to unite, many powerful figures in the Heaven Dao Empire still believed their covert actions had been successful. In reality, it was an internal struggle among the 5 factions. Only by entering the game with absolute strength can we have a chance to share the pie. Yibai's words reflected exactly what their Wuji Academy had done. With a powerful lineup of 1 titled Douluo, 3 Soul Douluos, and numerous Soul Masters from Soul Sages to Soul Emperors and below, they stormed into the game before the Heaven Dao Imperial family, the major sects of the Heaven Dao Empire, and their respective Soul Master families could react. The situation was irreversible, and there was no way to suppress or stop it, so they had to win them over. But logically, with your current status, you shouldn't be privy to so many secrets. Yibai glanced at Feng Ocean. My uncle is the vice president of the Divine Wind Academy. Feng Ocean said helplessly. The only 2 Soul Douluos in the Divine Wind Academy. He didn't want to say it, and he wouldn't have said it if Yibai hadn't asked. Feng Ocean was truly showing off. I know you're considering annexing or uniting the other major elemental academies besides Xiangjia Academy, but you have to consider the power behind the elemental academies. While it might sound like a traitor's statement, Shenfeng Academy and Blazing Fire Academy are the best candidates for Wuji Academy to incorporate. The sects backing them extend far beyond the Xingluo Empire, and Wuji Academy's greatest strength right now is His Majesty the Poison Douluo. Honestly, the teachers at Shenfeng and Blazing Fire Academy really hope for a merger. Therefore, Shenfeng and Blazing Fire Academy are the academies with the least resistance for Wuji Academy. Of course, the resistance was minimal because of this so-called traitor. Feng Ocean was no fool. Before he met Yibai and encountered Wuji Academy, he had considered merging his former Shenfeng Academy, Huo Wu and the others Blazing Fire Academy, and Xianshu Academy once he had grown up. Xianshu Academy might face difficulties, but Blazing Fire Academy should be possible. But all of this presupposed their immense strength. As always, Feng Ocean had always been a relatively intelligent man, but he was simply blinded by love. Wuji Academy had strong momentum and a strong foundation, boasting talents like Yibai, Dugu Yan, and Oscar. If he were to join them, and given enough time, they could lead Wuji Academy to become one of the world's top powers. The allure was immense. The reorganization of Thunder Academy originated with Feng Ocean, who had proposed the idea. Having switched from Shenfeng Academy to Wuji, he had set a precedent for the major elemental academies. The real reason lay in the Spirit Hall's elite team's lineup of 3 Soul Kings and 4 Soul Sect members, while Wuji Academy had 2 Soul Kings and 5 Soul Sect members, and the unique circumstances of Shrek Academy. As the proud sons of the Heaven Dao Empire, none of them wanted to lose like this, so they united to form the strongest elemental team. A clown is a clown. Even if clowns unite, they're still clowns. Yan, from the Spirit Hall's elite team, looked at the new Thunder Academy with a superior air. Yan, Ziyu, captain of the Spirit Hall's elite team, glanced coldly at Yan. Yan curled his lips in displeasure. Ziyu, the leader of the Spirit Hall elite team, was a calm and composed person. He had never seen the performance of the Thunder Speed featured players, but the data displayed in the information was definitely not deceptive. Ziyu looked at the Thunder Academy team. First, there were Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin, the twin stars of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. Both were level 48 offensive type War Soul Sect members. With their Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus spirits, they could fight against Soul Kings. Xianshu Academy's spirit fusion technique also posed a threat to the Spirit Hall. Huo Wu's forbidden ring fusion spirit technique was also a hidden danger. Originally, when the draw results were announced, the Spirit Hall Elite team thought they could just wait for the finals, as they hadn't taken Thunder Academy seriously at all. But now, their joy was premature. ZU saw the look in their eyes, a look of determination that would not give up until the last moment. Chapter 130 Crazy Behavior. Yan's taunting had further chilled the faces of the Thunder Academy members. Yan stood there, his face still tinged with smugness and defiance, completely unaware of the extent of the trouble his words and actions had caused the entire team. Trouble? You're more likely to cause trouble than help. ZU cursed inwardly at Yan's foolish expression. ZU had no doubt that Spirit Hall would ultimately triumph. After all, their strength was undeniable, unmatched. However, Yan's foolishness might make the path to victory more difficult. ZU knew that the Thunder Academy might need to reveal tactics they hadn't originally intended, or even pay a greater price. All of this was due to Yan's foolish behavior. If it weren't for their long-standing friendship, ZU would have wanted to kick him down. Activate spirits. Get ready. The referee, the Cardinal, announced immediately after both teams had taken their positions. At the referee's command, 14 spirit seals appeared in midair on the field. The brothers, Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin, immediately unleashed their dragon transformation secret technique, instantly boosting their overall strength. Lightning and thunder swirled around them, their heroic demeanor extraordinary. The twin stars of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan teamed up for the first time. Huo Wuxiang, on one side of his body, was also possessed by his spirit. The other 4 control-type soul masters Shubinger, Huo Wu, Zhu Wu, and Lei Dong also unleashed their spirits. The new Thunder Academy, with 3 strong attacks and 4 control strategies, left no room for retreat, an all-out desperate effort to crush their opponents. The Spirit Hall also activated their spirits, and spirit rings emerged beneath their members. Match begin. As the referee declared the match open, Hulina was possessed by his spirit. With a fleeting lotus step, Hulina seemingly spun around and arrived at the front. A faint smile graced her face. As her spirit unleashed, she seemed even more beautiful, a large furry tail sprouting from her back. Hulina, with her spirit being a demonic fox, possessed an extremely powerful seductive ability. Don't look into her eyes, Yu Xianheng shouted. The Xiandao Royal Academy had suffered this fate. Do as I said yesterday, Yu Xianheng continued. Shubinger immediately used her soul power to create an ice wall, completely blocking out Hulina's alluring gaze. Simultaneously, the members of the Thunder Academy used their soul power to block their ears, blocking out sound. This way, they were completely shielded from Hulina's alluring gaze and voice. Even the most powerful charm skills require a medium to trigger, and that medium is the 6 senses of living beings: hearing, sight, taste, smell, touch, and feeling. At this moment, Hulina could only affect them through sight and hearing. The quick and calm actions of Yu Xianheng, Yu Xiangxin, and the others undoubtedly negated her charm's effectiveness. This interruption stunned not only Hulina, but also the other Spirit Hall players for a moment. Taking advantage of the Spirit Hall's momentary distraction, Huo Wu swiftly attacked. As her 3rd spirit ring illuminated, her 3rd spirit skill, Fire Resistant Ring, activated. A dazzling ring of flames instantly erupted, spreading to the desired location. This spirit skill has no offensive power, but it can eject all enemies within the ring of fire. The range of ejection and how to distinguish friend from foe depends on Huo Wu's control. This spirit skill covers a radius of 60 meters in diameter and 3 meters in height. As long as the opponent's attack skills exceed Huo Wu's own spirit power by 10 or more, they will ignore all skills and defenses, temporarily repelling all skills within the ring of fire. The activation of this spirit skill suddenly disrupted the Spirit Hall's formation. Through the ice wall, they could vaguely see something. Seeing the Spirit Hall's formation disrupted, Yu Xianheng shattered the ice wall with a single punch, and then the entire Thunder Academy pressed forward. ZU, who had been protecting Hulina, saw the enemy charging back, and stepped forward, swinging his 2 blood-red moon blades. Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin swung their dragon claws, directly knocking the moon blades away. The Thunder Academy's movement was hindered. However, the Thunder Academy had already prepared a strategy for today's battle. Whether they could win was one thing, but they would never give up so easily. 4 control type spirit masters began a frenzied control. Shubinga, 3rd spirit skill, Frost Thorns. Lei Dang, 1st spirit skill, Lightning Silk. 3rd spirit skill, Lightning Net. Huo Wu, 1st spirit skill, Flame Meteor. 2nd spirit skill, Burning Bloom. At the back of the Thunder Academy, she unleashed her 4 spirit skills. Zhu Wu's 4 spirit skills are Dark Cloud, Rain, Ice, and Snow, and Whirlwind. To activate these spirit skills, Zhu Wu dances simultaneously. As she dances, a dark cloud appears directly overhead, encompassing the entire arena. Her 2nd spirit skill, Rain, requires dark clouds to be present in the sky. As she dances, bean-sized raindrops begin to fall from the sky, forming a vast curtain of water. These droplets avoid landing on herself or her allies, but slide away silently upon approaching them, soaking them. Her 3rd spirit skill, Ice and Snow, creates a vast expanse of ice and snow from the sky. The temperature drops significantly within the area covered by this spirit skill, weakening the enemy's combat effectiveness. Once activated, this soul skill is unstoppable. It's a full-range support soul skill, but rather than assisting teammates, it targets the opponent's continuous soul power drain, requiring them to constantly cover their body with soul power to withstand the cold. The 4th soul skill, Whirlwind, unleashes a counterclockwise anticyclonic whirlwind from the sky, radiating outward from Zhu Wu. This whirlwind has no negative impact on Zhu Wu or her teammates. This soul skill expands the area of ice and snow, intensifying its chill. The ice and snow also transform the wind released by this soul skill into a cold wind. Once activated, this soul skill is unstoppable. After Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin activated their 3rd soul skill, to enhance their attributes and abilities, they unleashed their 2nd soul skill, Thunderbolt, towards the Spirit Hall. Suddenly, the forces of 3 different elements converged towards the Spirit Hall. The members of the Spirit Hall's elite participating team were highly combat aware. Li Kei, a level 48 defensive type War Soul Sect Master, was already at the forefront. 4th soul skill, Black Mountain Light Shield. A jet black light shield rose, enveloping the entire Spirit Hall elite team. Thunder Academy's thunder roared loudly, and the rain looked heavy, but the ultimate effect was less than impressive. "I'm so rude to you losers." Yan roared. "All of you, die." 4th soul skill, Lava Roiling. Yan's spirit was the Flame Lord, possessing the attributes of extreme heat, powerful attack, strong defense, and high burst damage. Chapter 131, Soul Fusion Technique. Several roiling pillars of lava suddenly erupted from the ground on the Thunder Academy side. Yan's 4th spirit ability had never been demonstrated publicly before, and the Thunder Academy members were also caught in the trap. Feng Xiaoshan stared at the battlefield, his expression solemn. Yu Xiangxin and the others are truly insane, charging headfirst into battle with complete recklessness. This reckless fighting style, while fierce, was also fraught with risk. Although Huo Wu, Shubinga, and Lei Dang are control type spirit masters, their spirit abilities also possess potent offensive power. That's part of their stubbornness, perhaps also because they are thinking about us, young Yibai observed, observing the battle. Under normal circumstances, if Thunder Academy hadn't regrouped, even if we defeated Shrek Academy, we would still be facing an elite Spirit Hall team in their prime. However, the Spirit Hall's 3 Spirit Kings are no pushovers. The Thunder Academy Spirit Masters appeared to be in a state of panic under the threat of the lava pillars, their defense and counterattacks severely limited. Yu Xiangxin and the others seized the opportunity to launch an even more fierce offensive. Their figures darted across the battlefield, each movement imbued with power and speed. Huo Wu's fire ring of resistance activated again, repelling any approaching enemies. Shubinga's ice elemental spirit ability sliced through the enemy's defenses like a razor-sharp icy blade. Lei Dong's thunder and lightning roared relentlessly, unleashing a continuous barrage of blows upon the enemy. The twin stars, Yu Xianheng, Yu Xiangxin, and Huo Wuxiang, aided by Huo Wu and the others, had already engaged the Spirit Hall head-on. "You damned bugs." Yan's temper was never good. "Ha. Guys, stop acting. Stop giving these little bugs hope. ZU, it's time to give these guys a truly stunning spectacle." Yan chuckled. Ziyu gave Yan a blank look. While he, his sister Hulina, and Yan had a good relationship, that didn't mean he could command them. Arrogant. Yu Xiangxin roared, the lightning radiating from his body intensifying. Come here. Ziyu shouted at Yan. Hey, little bugs, the game's over. Yan charged with a pair of lava fists, knocking Yu Xiangxin back. He then charged in Ziyu's direction. It's a soul fusion technique. I thought the Spirit Hall's elite team had 3 Soul Kings, but I didn't expect. The combined soul fusion technique of the Spirit Hall's 2 Soul Kings is already powerful enough to rival a Soul Emperor. It seems this new Thunder Academy has truly cornered the Spirit Hall. Hahaha, this is the kingly aura that the Spirit Hall should possess. Long live the Spirit Hall. The audience's spirits suddenly rose, their gazes fixed on the area above the battlefield. Ziyu and Yan of the Spirit Hall suddenly radiated a powerful light. Their figures began to blur, then slowly merged into a new being. This newly emerged spirit fusion entity stood over 5 meters tall, its body covered in interwoven patterns of lava and moonlight. In its hand, it wielded a massive moon blade, its blade imbued with the fiery heat of lava and the coolness of moonlight, a perfect blend that emanated a chilling aura. This was Ziyu and Yan's spirit fusion technique, the Evil Blade Lord. HMPH. Game over. Ziyu and Yan cried out simultaneously. Shubinga and Zuwu, observing this, also unleashed their spirit fusion techniques. Spirit fusion technique, Frost Phoenix. Suddenly, following the intense heat of the arena, an extreme chill swept across the entire field. An icy phoenix, over 8 meters long and over 5 meters tall, appeared on the field. Cry. The Frost Phoenix cried, its ice wrapped in a chilling air, attacking the Evil Blade Lord. The Evil Blade Lord wielded the massive fiery crimson moon blade, its flaming blade slashing at the incoming chill. The flaming blade easily suppressed the chill in its path. The superiority was instantly apparent. Although the Frost Phoenix and the Evil Blade Lord appeared evenly matched in momentum, the Frost Phoenix's chilling aura was no match for the Evil Blade Lord's flames. The Frost Phoenix flapped its wings and soared high, its fluttering wings carrying a chilling chill that gradually weakened the Evil Blade Lord's blazing blades. While the 2 Spirit Hall Soul Kings are being held back by the Frost Phoenix, we must seize this opportunity. Yu Xiangxin and the others flashed, rushing towards the Spirit Hall contingent like an arrow from a bow. They knew this was the perfect time for the Thunder Academy to strike back, and they couldn't afford to miss it. While their soul power might not rival the other 5 Spirit Hall members, they would seize every opportunity. The Spirit Hall contingent, led by Hulina, remained unfazed by the swift onslaught of the Thunder Academy. Their confidence stemmed from years of experience in the Forest of Death. On the other side of the field, with every flap of the Frost Phoenix's wings, countless tiny ice blades danced through the air, slicing everything around them. However, the Evil Blade Lord seemed unfazed. He swung the fiery crimson moon blade with increasing ferocity, its flaming blades tracing fiery paths through the air, shattering the ice blades one by one. Ziyu and Yan's voices echoed from the Evil Blade Lord. Rising dragon explosion. Pillars of molten flame erupted from the ground. Cry. Facing the Evil Blade Lord's attack, the Frost Phoenix cried out, its wings suddenly emitting a dazzling light imbued with boundless icy power. Immediately afterwards, its body began to shrink rapidly, yet the chill emanating from it intensified, as if threatening to freeze the entire field into a tundra. This shrinking form signified that the Frost Phoenix was concentrating its soul power. As the Frost Phoenix's body shrank, the cold surrounding it rapidly condensed into massive pillars of ice. These icicles swirled and danced in the air, as if they were an army composed of ice, launching the final attack on the Evil Blade Lord. At present, it seems that these 2 martial soul fusion skills are going to decide the outcome. Boom. 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 The icicles and flames collided continuously in the air, making a deafening roar. Each collision was accompanied by a large amount of sparks and ice chips flying everywhere, making the entire competition field a mess. Cry. Although the martial soul fusion skills are powerful, the difference in soul power is also the key to determining the outcome. Shubinga and Zuwu's soul power is naturally not as good as Ziyu and Yan's. The game is over. It's our turn to go on stage. Young Yibai has already stood up. Let's go and warm up first. Chapter 132 7 in 1. Clear Sky Hammer appears. The match between the Spirit Hall's elite team and Thunder Academy concluded. Thunder Academy hadn't let Spirit Hall easily advance to the finals. This had also allowed Wuji Academy and Shrek Academy to see some of Spirit Hall's strength. Wuji Academy and Shrek Academy took the stage. Neither side uttered any harsh words, but the fighting spirit in their eyes was already extremely strong. As the Shrek Academy's eyes brimmed with fighting spirit, they couldn't help but recall the tactics Flanders and Uzio Gang had devised against them last night. This was because Shrek Academy was capable of fighting. Last night, on the Shrek Academy side, Uzio Gang. Tomorrow is the semifinals. Your opponent is Wuji Academy, with 2 Soul Kings and 5 Soul Zangs. You should know Wuji Academy well enough. To be frank, Wuji Academy has almost no weaknesses. Their team is also a typical balanced Spirit Master team. Uzio Gang's words were not alarmist. Wuji Academy possesses all the major branches of Spirit Masters: power attack, agility attack, control, defense, support, and healing. Shrek Academy, on the other hand, lacks defense and healing. But we also have a trump card. Putting Yibai aside, Zio-san possesses an external spirit bone and a second spirit, the Clear Sky Hammer. Rang has also mastered the ability to distract and control her acupoints, allowing her to simultaneously unleash several supporting spirit skills. Wuji Academy's Duguyan's primary weapon is poison, but Zio-san has a general defense against it. Without poison, Duguyan is just a spirit king with a higher spirit power, and Zio can still hold her back. The defense method Uzio Gang mentioned was actually cheating, taking the poison repelling pill in advance, a pill refined by Tang-san. As for why Uzio Gang dared to do this, it was because he was certain that their actions were entirely in the best interests of the Spirit Hall. Regardless of which side won the battle between Shrek Academy and Wuji Academy, it would be a win for the Spirit Hall. Of course, the main reason was that Uzio Gang had the approval of the Spirit Hall's Hierophant. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to cheat. Uzio Gang and Bibidong had met yesterday. Their conversation was quite complex, but Bibidong did condone some of Uzio Gang's behavior. Inside the arena, the referee shouted, "Match begin." As soon as the match began, Oscar from Wuji Academy immediately began unleashing his spirit abilities. First spirit ability, cute, fragrant tender tofu. Second spirit ability, young and beautiful, a clove of garlic. Third spirit ability, green winged, flying mushroom. Fourth spirit ability. As Oscar unleashed his spirit abilities, Tang-san from Shrek Academy shouted, "Change." Then, the Shrek Academy formation shifted. Tang-san stood at the front, followed by Dame Yibai, then Mahangjin, Huang Wenhe, and ZHU Zuking. At the back stood Ning Rangrang and ZHU Zuking. The shifting formation of the 7 individuals imbued the spirit energy gathered from their newly released spirits with a sudden sense of harmony. Shrek Academy moved with remarkable speed. ZHU Zuking embraced Ning Rangrang, the spirit energy she released now very gentle, pouring frantically into her. The 7 treasures glazed tower rose before Ning Rangrang, and her 3 spirit rings emerged, faintly showing signs of fusion. The talent for fusion wasn't unique to Huo, it was also a special ability of the 7 treasures glazed sect. As the sect leader's only daughter, how could Ning Rangrang not possess it? Shrek Academy moved swiftly, from positioning to releasing spirit energy in under a second. It was clear they had rehearsed this move many times. Young Yibai, observing this, immediately understood what Shrek Academy was up to. He hadn't expected Shrek Academy to use this initial move, so he didn't hesitate, and his first 3 spirit rings emerged. Full. As young Yibai finished his words, violent lightning rained down from the sky above Shrek Academy. Young Yibai became increasingly adept at unleashing lightning, but unleashing it from a distance consumed even greater amounts of soul energy. However, his attack was too late. Shrek Academy's mysterious attack seemed to have completed. A pink shield enveloped the 7 Shrek members. The lightning struck the shield, but had no effect on them. Seeing the Shrek attack complete, young Yibai immediately called out, "Feng Ziocean, Yanzi." Although Feng Ziocean and Dugu Yan didn't know what the Shrek Academy was up to, they could sense that their actions were anything but simple. 4th soul skill, Cold Dragon Poison. After Dugu Yan unleashed a soul skill, Feng Xiaoshan channeled his soul power, and a gust of wind suddenly appeared, blowing towards Shrek Academy, carrying Du Guyan's poison with it. Third soul skill, green phosphorus poison ring. After completing all this, Yan Yibai continued, Niu Shan, deploy full defense. We can't stop this mysterious attack from Shrek Academy. All of you retreat. Niu Shan and I will defend. Yanzi, Feng Xiaoshan, and Yangte, wait for Shrek Academy to launch their attack, and seize the opportunity. This move consumes a lot of their soul power. If possible, kill them with one strike. Oscar, protect Yilingling. Feel free to take to the air if necessary. Yes. The others nodded, and then followed Yan Yibei's instructions. Shrek, they're actually merging 7 spirits into one. Bibidang, seated high up in the sky, immediately recognized the movement as something resembling a spirit fusion technique. No, they're trying to gather everyone's soul power into one person. Is it because of that little girl from the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sect? Bibidang's gaze lingered on Ning Rang Grang for a second. Then Bibidang couldn't help but look at the outside of the competition field, at Yu Xiaogang from Shrek Academy. Yu Xiaogang had a calm face at the moment, but the expression in his eyes could not escape Bibidang. This is the Yu Xiaogang I knew back then. Although Shrek Academy did not have the heaven-defying 7-in-1 martial arts fusion technique like Kanghu Academy, just the fusion of 7 martial arts and the strength of soul masters with completely different soul power attributes was already an astonishing act. The light shield disappeared in an instant, and the figures of the 7 Shrek people appeared again. The soul power of all Shrek members gathered on Tang San. Tang San raised his left hand immediately without any hesitation. The next moment, the Clear Sky Hammer martial spirit, which had disappeared from Douluo continent for more than 10 years, appeared on Tang San's left hand. I hate meetings and overtime. I'm so annoyed that I don't even have time to write. Chapter 133, Yibai, the variable, the external soul bone. Tang San slowly raised the massive Clear Sky Hammer with one hand. The vast light patterns on the hammer suddenly erupted, a dazzling dark golden glow as the Clear Sky Hammer slowly grew larger. Holding the enlarged Clear Sky Hammer, Tang San softly uttered, shock. Tang San had been forging iron for 8 years, so even though he hadn't formally cultivated the Clear Sky Hammer spirit, he still had a certain understanding of hammer techniques. He swung the massive Clear Sky Hammer towards the ground, where Yan Yibai and Niu Tao lay. Is it similar to the spirit form of the 7th spirit skill? Niu Shan, retreat. Don't take it head on, Yan Yibai said. Yan Yibai wasn't sure what the effect of Tang San's attack would be, but taking it head on would be sheer folly. He dodged if he could. Niu Shan and Yan Yibai, after consuming Oscar's flying mushrooms, immediately soared into the air. Du Guyan, Oscar, and the others, upon witnessing Yan Yibai and the others' actions, used the flying mushrooms without hesitation, and soared into the air. Bang! The Clear Sky Hammer struck the ground, shaking violently. A powerful and terrifying force, centered around the Clear Sky Hammer, spread outward. Oscar and Yilingling, already weak, were repelled by the force. Fortunately, Feng Xiaoshan and Du Guyan were not far away, and they steadied Oscar and Yilingling. What a powerful Clear Sky Hammer, Yan Yibai thought to himself. So what if it can fly? A fierce glint flashed in Tang San's eyes. They hadn't been taught a lesson by Flender and Liu Erlang for so long. Temporarily possessing the power of a soul sage, Tang San experienced a tremendous improvement in all aspects. After this amplification, Tang San could temporarily attain the power of a soul sage. However, the reason Shrek Academy used this technique at the beginning of the competition was naturally because of Dame Yibai. With the inherited power of the evil-eyed Saint King, Dame Yibai's improvement was more than just one-sided. Boss Day. Tang San suddenly called out. Leave it to me. Dame Yibai grinned. Suddenly, a ray of daylight descended from the sky onto Spirit City. The light was fleeting. Dame Yibai Evil Eye Saint King mode. Tang San, infused with the Saint King power of Dame Yibai, unleashed his external spirit bone, using it to channel the gentle power transformed from the 7 treasures glazed pagoda by the Shrek Academy members. The external spirit bone allowed him to temporarily stabilize his power. Then I'll leave Yan Yibai to you, Xiaozhan. A quick victory. Okay. Chaos Cloak Hammer technique. Tang San targeted Oscar and Yilingling. The clear sky hammer in Tang San's hand vanished into a shadow, unleashing its power. What a bunch of lunatics. Are you going to throw everything at once? Yibai watched Tang San charging, his eyes fixed. He was fully aware of Tang San's current situation, unleashing immense power in a remarkably short burst. This method was quick, but effective. Furthermore, Tang San's target was their two supports. Oscar and Li Lingling on their side were truly formidable team fight weapons, their powerful support and efficient healing ensuring the team's endurance. Yibai didn't hesitate, flying towards Li Lingling and Oscar. With Oscar and Li Lingling's strength, even if they could fly, Tang San wouldn't have any trouble catching up with them now. Yibai's first 3 spirit rings lit up one by one. Facing Tang San now, it wasn't just a playful game. Zzzz. Yibai's arms completely transformed into dragons, and a patch of golden scales also appeared on his chest. With 5 rings, Yibai had already achieved dragon transformation in 3 areas of his body. It's dragon transformation. Outside, Yushai and Heng's expression shifted upon seeing Yibai transform. The golden scales resembled a suit of armor. Tang San's lips curled slightly as he saw Yibai charging towards him. His target had never been Oscar and Li Lingling, it had always been Yibai. However, judging by Yibai's previous performance, he was an extremely cunning individual who wouldn't proactively confront him. That's why Tang San made this move. Bang! Yibai's dragon claw, brimming with golden lightning, clashed with the clear sky hammer. Their attacks generated a powerful shockwave that affected many in the audience. Yibai and Tang San were each repelled by the force of the collision. As expected of the clear sky hammer, Yibai thought to himself, he can actually block my clear sky hammer. Tang San was even more astonished than Yibai. His current power rivaled that of a soul sage. However, if Yibai knew what Tang San was thinking, he would probably have scoffed. Borrowed power was, after all, just borrowed. It might make Tang San stronger for a while, but that level of power was beyond Tang San's current capabilities. After Yibai and Tang San exchanged power, Feng's Eye Ocean flew towards Dame Yibai at breakneck speed. Facing Dame Yibai in his evil-eyed Saint King mode, Feng's Eye Ocean showed no disdain. Feng's Eye Ocean believed he was capable of fighting a Soul King, but Dame Yibai in this mode could also defeat opponents of higher levels. The key was that Feng's Eye Ocean had no idea if Dame Yibai had any other abilities. Feng's Eye Ocean immediately unleashed the Swift Wind Wolf 48 slashes, starting with his first soul skill, Windblade Formation. A mere trifle. Dame Yibai waved his hand, easily dispelling the Windblade formations. Swift Wind Wolf 48 slashes. Feng's Eye Ocean swiftly attacked from behind. Dame Yibai dodged sideways, but Feng's Eye Ocean's attack came from his enhanced Swift Wind Wings, and Dame Yibai countered with his fists. Aside from Yibai, Feng's Eye Ocean, and the others, Shrek's Mahanjan and Huan Wenhua faced off against Yang Tae and Yushan. Yang Tae and Yushan, one attacking, the other defending, made a perfect duo. However, Shrek Academy's Mahanjan and Huan Wenhua's goal was never to defeat Yang Tae and Yushan. They simply wanted to hold them back, creating an opportunity for the others. Elsewhere, ZHU's Yuking, combining her agility and attacking abilities with Xiao Wu, briefly engaged Du Guyan. As supports, Ning Rangrang and Oscar each possessed their own strengths. However, Ning Rangrang's support was long-lasting, allowing her to continue as long as she had spirit power. Oscar, on the other hand, required replenishment. The audience hadn't expected such a surprising and unexpected match, a match they weren't particularly looking forward to. In their minds, a team with 2 Soul Kings and 5 Soul Masters would be as dominant as the Spirit Hall. But Shrek Academy unexpectedly offered them so many surprises, 7-in-1 fusion techniques, external spirit bones, and even Dame Yibai, who could transform. Forgive me for any inaccuracies in my writing these past few days. These days have been truly exhausting. Chapter 134 5th Soul Skill, Senlo Thunder Domain. The match had just begun when it split into several battlefields. The fighting on all sides was intense, but the real variables on the battlefield were only 2, Yibai and Feng's Eye Ocean. Tang San and Yibai, it all depended on whether Tang San, unleashing his Soul Sage power, could defeat Yibai in a remarkably short time. Otherwise, Shrek would undoubtedly lose. The battle between Feng Xiaoshan and Dame Yibai looked like it could continue for a while. While Feng Xiaoshan was consistently on the offensive, Dame Yibai was constantly interrupting his attacks, preventing him from achieving his combo. Without this combo, Feng Xiaoshan's advantage was significantly diminished. Even so, Dame Yibai couldn't gain an advantage. Of course, the most exciting part of the match was the battle between Yibai and Tang San. Ever since their initial clash, Yibai knew that Shrek was a formidable foe he couldn't avoid. Tang San, 7-in-1 fusion skill, clear sky hammer. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yibai suddenly burst into wild laughter. 5th soul skill, Senluo Thunder Domain. Yibai's eyes narrowed as he whispered. Then, for the first time in this tournament, his 5th Black Soul ring finally illuminated. Almost instantly, the entire Spirit City sky shifted, from bright and clear to a pitch black darkness. Lightning flashed within the dark clouds. How is this possible? It's actually a domain type soul skill. He's just a mere soul king. How could this be possible? Chrysanthemum Douluo Yugwen, standing behind Spirit Hall's Pope Bibidong, covered his mouth. Ha 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 ha. Ghost Douluo Gimli laughed sinisterly beside him, his thoughts unclear. At such a young age, he already possesses a domain spirit skill. If he's allowed to fully develop, he'll probably be even more formidable than the old dragon from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. Xiao gang, you Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex people are truly full of talent. But only you. Bibidong's gaze shifted from Yibai to Xiao gang at Shrek Academy. The same scene was playing out in several other locations. Domain. Xiao gang's face was solemn. Yibai possessed a domain. He had never anticipated it. He had initially assumed Yibai's 5th spirit skill would also be a powerful offensive one. Fengzi, it's a domain. This kid will be something special in the future. And with Douluo and the old dragon from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex backing him up, we should only make friends with him, not enemies. Making friends with him will also benefit our 7 Treasures Glazed Tile clan. From the shadows, Sword Douluo Chengxin telegraphed to Ning Fengzi. Ning Fengzi pushed his glasses and echoed, I understand, Uncle Jian. Perhaps their return journey will be the perfect opportunity to make them owe us the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sector debt of gratitude. Ning Fengzi's voice transmission was resolute. Uncle Jian, have you ever seen such a young spirit master the power of a domain? No. The Spirit Hall will definitely extend an olive branch to him, but Uncle Jian, you and I both know he'll never join the Spirit Hall. He's an ambitious little fellow, and the Spirit Hall will definitely not let such a threatening, talented spirit master return unscathed. I don't think this kid is stupid. I wonder what gives him the confidence to come to the Spirit Hall. Is he counting on Douluo? Ning Fengzi didn't mention Yu Yuansun, for he knew exactly what kind of person he was. Outside the arena, another person also expressed admiration for Yibai. Very good, worthy of my attention. Zuking looked at Yibai as if he were a piece of unpolished jade. Yibai, you can't escape my grasp. As long as you have ambition, I will help you achieve it. But in return, you should also help me realize my ambition. Zuking had the confidence to say this. He didn't care who he was trying to win over, only who was the best, who could provide him with the best support. Inside the arena, as Yibai unleashed his 5 spirit rings, over a third of the arena was engulfed in a violent thunderstorm. This was the Senluo Thunder Domain, a domain type spirit skill. This elemental domain fills a certain area with rich elemental energy. Within the Senluo Thunder Domain, Yibai waved his finger at Tang San, and within this domain, Tang San was immediately bombarded with terrifying, one-on-one thunder. Tang San swung the clear sky hammer. The lightning didn't harm him, but the constant flow of lightning was draining him. Yibai wisely chose not to attack. Although he didn't understand how Tang San could briefly maintain such a strength beyond his own, thinking of the external spirit bone and Dame Yibai in Evil Eye Saint King mode, he felt it wasn't so difficult to understand. After all, he had experienced the matter of immortal items. He didn't understand, but he understood. Yibai had planned from the beginning, they would fight a war of attrition, and couldn't linger too long with Shrek Academy. Their next opponent was Spirit Hall, and they needed to be in top form for the battle. Yibai thought so, but Tang San didn't. This lightning is constantly devouring my strength. Tang San's heart sank. In the forest's thunder zone, he felt he could only maintain this state for about a minute at most. Their intention was to use their utmost power to eliminate the strongest person in Wuji Academy. Then, with Dame Yibai as the center, they would begin to dismantle Wuji Academy and ultimately secure victory. But they hadn't expected to encounter a problem at this very beginning. He died before he could even accomplish his goal, and his Chaos Cloak Hammer technique hadn't even been combined. Yibai naturally wouldn't let Tang San combine his Chaos Cloak Hammer technique, which was why he immediately unleashed his 5th spirit skill. Cut it when necessary, and don't let the chaos swirl. In reality, it wasn't devouring as Tang San understood it, but rather the lightning within Yibai's domain possessed immense destructive power, constantly undermining Tang San's protective shield. With such a dense barrage of lightning, no one could completely escape. Forced to this point, Tang San prepared for an all-out attack. The clear sky hammer in Tang San's hand trembled with unbridled force, leaving no lightning within 3 meters. This attack wasn't taught to him by Tang Heo, but by a titan from the Power Clan. While not the authentic clear sky hammer technique, it was a close approximation. Tang San swung the clear sky hammer, and with a strike, the lightning within the Senlo Thunder domain seemed to rip apart, creating a massive rift. I will never let down my partner's strength. Tang San rushed towards Yibai. Yibai's soul power surged, and then the scope of Senlo Thunder domain shrank at a speed visible to the naked eye. He has not been in good shape in recent days. Chapter 135, Mystery Blue Dragon Break. As the Senlo Thunder domain's reach continued to shrink, Yibai's aura intensified. Soon, his aura would rival that of Tang San, wielding the clear sky hammer. Not good. Tang San felt a sense of foreboding after witnessing Yibai's transformation. At this moment, Tang San felt the attack he had just assembled was no longer impressive. Damn it. Tang San cursed inwardly. Seeing that the distance between him and Yibai was only a dozen meters, Tang San steeled his resolve and decided not to hold back. Yibai still possessed such power. If he couldn't defeat him now, then Shrek would have no chance. Even if he lost, he would have to drain his opponent's spirit energy to prepare for their subsequent plans. Weapon Soul True Form. The clear sky hammer in his hand once again unleashed the power of the initial match, while the external spirit bone behind Tang San dimmed at a visible speed. Lingshan Strike. Break it. Tang San roared, and the clear sky hammer, with the might of a tsunami, smashed down on Yibai. Tang San actually still retained some spirit power. The air seemed to freeze at that moment, and the spectators held their breath, sweating for Yibai. Even as the massive clear sky hammer crashed down towards him, Yibai remained unfazed. Many at the scene were sweating for Yibai. They wondered what hidden weapon Yibai had in store. But the next moment, their eyes widened. Yibai was bathed in thunder. Golden lightning danced through the air. Eventually a vast curtain of lightning obscured him for a moment. When Yibai reappeared, a long sword appeared in his hand. Yibai's face was stern, and he held the sword in his right hand. A fierce force surged from the thundering blade, driving the lightning around him like a raging wave. Behind him, a golden dragon, formed from lightning, slowly emerged, its roar resonating through the sky. The majesty and power of lightning. Uncle Jian, do you recognize the object in Yibai's hand? Ning Fengzi, upon seeing the snow-white blade in Yibai's hand on the competition field, couldn't help but whisper to Sword Douluo Chengxin. I've heard there's indeed a soul skill that allows a soul ring to transform into a weapon. No. Sword Douluo Chengxin's voice quickly returned to Ning Fengzi's consciousness. That kid named Yibai, what he holds, is an external soul bone. Sword Douluo's voice paused slightly. External soul bone. Ning Fengzi was shocked, and he couldn't help but look back at the competition stage. Honestly, the object in Yibai's hand looked exactly like a weapon. Neither its appearance nor its weaponry resembling an external soul bone. However, Ning Fengzi didn't doubt Sword Douluo's intentions at all. He simply pondered. The better Yibai performed, the more he would consider deepening his alliance with Wuji Academy. Sword Douluo Chengxin knew about Yibai's object entirely because of his father. The angel sword that had defeated his father was actually an extremely old external soul bone, and that external soul bone was nothing more than a weapon, lacking any of the characteristics of a soul bone. On Bibidong's side, Douluo also speculated, could that thing be an external soul bone? Since it could manifest outside of the body, Douluo's guess was that it was an external soul bone. Or perhaps this weapon is that kid's true 5th soul skill. The spirit hall elders, governed by the angel spirits, knew that angel spirits possessed a soul skill that transformed their soul rings into weapons. Ghost Douluo said, "Hey, this kid is interesting. But he won't live long." The information was already in hand. To dare to contact a wanted individual was simply courting death for the spirit hall. Bibidong gazed calmly at the arena, but her grip on the scepter tightened slightly. Yibai's threat was imminent. Bibidong wanted no one to challenge the spirit hall's voice, so naturally, she didn't want anyone to have the potential to become the next Douluo or Tang Chen. Blue Dragon Break. Yibai murmured, gazing at Tang San, before swinging the thunderblade in his hand. A golden dragon shadow suddenly pierced the sky with the swung thunderblade, surging forward with a deafening dragon roar and the ferocity of thunder. The dragon shadow tumbled through the air, golden lightning flashing, each wielding terrifying power, as if ripping apart everything in its path. The air ahead trembled violently under the impact of this force, as if Yibai's attack had already impacted space itself. Bang! The collision of the golden dragon shadow and the clear sky hammer produced a deafening roar. Lightning and hammer shadows intertwined, golden light colliding and surging with the dark golden glow of the clear sky hammer in the air, suddenly bursting into a dazzling brilliance, illuminating the arena like daylight. Tang San, facing this sudden and powerful attack, wore a solemn expression. He gripped the clear sky hammer tightly, his muscles tensing as he exerted his full strength. As the golden dragon shadow and the clear sky hammer collided, the entire arena shook. The rest of the Shrek Academy and Wuji Academy students scattered to avoid the impact. Yibai and Tang San's movements were so loud that the spirit hall personnel outside the arena intervened to intercept the energy leaking out. With the spirit hall's intervention, the spectators were able to glimpse the battle on the stage. The initial light curtain had vanished, and the ground on the arena had shattered. Yibai still stood there, the thunderblade in his right hand, its tip drooping. His figure, illuminated by the lightning, seemed even more stern and majestic. Tang San still controlled the clear sky hammer, battling the golden dragon shadow. "Your power is great, but it's not yours," Yibai said calmly. Yibai swung the thunderblade again, and his 4th spirit ring lit up. His 4th spirit skill, Ice Fang Thunder Dragon Fist. This time, however, Yibai utilized the thunderblade. Yibai swung the thunderblade again, and from the tip, a column of cold air, wrapped in lightning, struck Tang San. "Zio-san." Yu Gang immediately realized something was wrong. He clenched his hands and shouted worriedly. But just as he was about to surrender, a beam of pure white light rushed towards Tang San's position. It was Dame Yibai. The rest of the Shrek Academy and Wuji Academy dared not approach the battle zone between Yibai and Tang San, as their attacks were too fierce. But this required the exception of Dame Yibai. Having inherited the power of the evil-eyed Saint King, Dame Yibai couldn't be treated as an ordinary spirit master. Dame Yibai flicked his finger and emitted a wave of light, which barely blocked Yibai's attack and bought Tang San some time. However, it was only barely blocking it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136 Final. Thanks, Yibai. After Tang San barely managed to withstand Yibai's Azure Dragon Break, he knelt on one knee, his left hand supporting the clear sky hammer as he panted. "Leave him to me from here. If it were you, you could hold on, Zio-san." Dame Yibai knew Tang San was exhausted, but he chose to trust him. "Yibai, don't underestimate me too much. I have twin spirits. Even though I only have 1/6 of my spirit power now, with Rangrang here, I can still hold off Feng Zio-shan for a while. I'll leave it to you from here, Yibai. I'm sure his spirit power has been depleted quite a bit," Tang San said, looking at Yibai, who was now charging towards them again. "Leave it to me. Let him see the power of our evil-eyed white tiger." Dame Yibai, in Saint King mode, turned and met Yibai. You know nothing about my power. Yibai, holding the thunder blade, paced towards them. He felt the other side was too long-winded. They were fighting. They still had the mind to chat. Blue dragon breaks. Yibai slashed with his sword, and lightning and thunder dragons, cleaving the ground, descended upon Tangsun and Yibai. The two had no chance to separate. At this moment, the rest of the Wuji Academy's men were mobilized. Shrek Academy had maintained their confidence in victory, perhaps due to the allure of the spirit bones, the confidence given by Tangsun and Yibai. In less than a minute, unchecked, Feng Zai Ocean swiftly navigated several battle zones, uniting with the Wuji Academy's men, to effectively eliminate the Shrek Academy's forces. With the Shrek Academy's forces eliminated, the remaining Tangsun and Yibai were no match for the Wuji Academy. Even Yibai, possessing the power of a spirit king, was no match for several of them. Furthermore, Yibai, to prevent Tangsun from using the spirit bone fragments of his poisonous 8-spider lance to perform hidden weapon techniques, had not shattered Tangsun's external spirit bones. Furthermore, Yibai's battle with them was unbelievable. Fighting them, he actually had the heart to express his deep friendship. Did he really think he'd foolishly wait for them to finish reminiscing? Wuji Academy. Humph. A little known academy, and they've actually let them threaten our Spirit Hall's championship. The Spirit Hall elite team was also watching the battle between Wuji Academy and Shrek Academy. Among the Spirit Hall elite team, Yan's arrogant temper made him snort coldly to express his dissatisfaction. Ziyu ignored Yan, knowing that Yan was a grouch. You've watched their match. The opponent's strength should not be underestimated. Moreover, in the battle between Wuji Academy and Shrek Academy, their consumption was actually not that great. Although Feng Zai Ocean only has 4 spirit rings, judging from the specific situation today, he already has the strength to match that of a Soul King. Douluo Yan, one of the 2 Soul Kings of Wuji Academy, is a control type Soul King like Nana, but in this kind of team battle, Nana will have a greater advantage. As for her poison, the elders will think of a way for us, and in team battles, her poison will also affect them. The 4 Soul Masters of Wuji Academy, 1 attacking and 1 defending, are a problem. They cooperate very well, and because of the opponent's food type Soul Master, their defense type Soul Masters can completely join the battle, and don't need to stay behind and be trapped. But we can't. Lee K, you know how important Ziyu is, so no matter what, you have to defend against the opponent. All the members of the opponent can use flying spirit skills, and they are not slow. Ziyu said, staring at Lee K, who had the black horned boar martial spirit. A close fought team fight is all about attrition. So, in tomorrow's match, just as we're aiming to eliminate the opponent's support type spirit masters first, they'll definitely be keeping an eye on Ziyu. Lee K replied sternly, my defensive territory belongs exclusively to the Spirit Hall. Lee K's current spirit power had reached level 48. Sun Chuan Teo. Ziyu's gaze shifted to the dark-haired man, whose eyes were tightly closed. He was none other than Sun Chuan Teo, whose spirit was the Great Blade of the Ring, and now level 49 offensive type war spirit master. Like Feng Zai Ocean, he possessed the strength to rival a Spirit King. Or, to some extent, the prodigies of the Spirit Hall could fight above their level, albeit by leaping several levels. Captain. Sun Chuan Teo's voice was flat. Ziyu began to lay out his tactics. Tomorrow's match, Wuji Academy's offense and defense are now in your hands. Okay. Sun Chuan Teo stated succinctly. Worst case scenario, the 3 of us, Nana, and Yan, along with Yibai, Douluo Yan, and Feng Zai Ocean from Wuji Academy, will each entangle one of them. Then, the key to breaking through this situation lies in you, Zhangping. Ziyu looked at Zhangping, the only female soul master on their team. A level 45 agility attack type combat soul master, her martial soul possessing the golden waisted flying swallow. Zhangping awaited Ziyu's next instructions. The food type soul master from Wuji Academy has a limited flight time and lacks offensive power. So, Zhangping, since you can fly, I want you to do your best to eliminate their 2 support type soul masters, while we are entangled with their main force. Yes, Captain. Zhangping understood the importance of her mission. After several matches, she had a rough idea of the timing and speed of Wuji Academy's flying soul skill. To be honest, she felt it was a bit tricky. However, if the supporting Soul Master was completely contained, she felt she could do it with all her might. A Soul Master who could fly and a flying Soul Master who could attack were two different things. After Ziyu laid out the general plan, his gaze returned to the Wuji Academy team on the field. Perhaps they won't even consider our plan. The brilliance of our golden generation will never be dimmed by any challenger. We'll show you that we, Wandering Hell, are unmatched. The glory of Spirit Hall will never be absent from any elite competition. The sudden appearance of Wuji Academy threatened them, but Ziyu and his team had emerged from the brink of hell, so they weren't afraid of such a challenge. Or rather, Ziyu believed that defeating Wuji Academy would better demonstrate the glory of Spirit Hall. The night before the finals, Shandao Empire Crown Prince Zuking and Ning Fengxi arrived at the Wuji Academy Hotel together. We are sorry to have received your highness the Crown Prince and Sect Master Ning. Yan Yibai offered tea. We are sorry to bother you. After all, tomorrow is your final showdown with Spirit Hall. Ning Fengxi said with a smile. Is going to work good or bad? Chapter 137. The battle begins. The first move fails. Yan Yibai, even in the unfamiliar Spirit City, it's an honor for us to be remembered by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Sect Master Ning. That's exactly why we are here, said Crown Prince Zuking. Ning Fengxi's face grew slightly more serious. Regardless of the final outcome for your Wuji Academy and Spirit Hall teams, your Wuji Academy has already performed exceptionally well. So much so that the Spirit Hall might even destroy you if they can't win you over. The Spirit Hall has always destroyed what they can't gain. Their actions over the years have proven this. Those small sects unwilling to submit to the Spirit Hall have basically disappeared. In short, be careful. You can come with me then. I believe the Spirit Hall wouldn't be so crazy as to attack the Crown Prince of an empire. Crown Prince Zuking directly extended an olive branch. To be honest, Zuking knew the situation this time was more complicated and difficult than ever before. He did intend to win over Yan Yibai, but this time, Zuking felt that if he sent someone to interfere again, he might not succeed. Bibidon would absolutely give the order resolutely, and the people below would resolutely carry it out, even if he claimed the title of Young Master. In the eyes of the vast majority of Spirit Hall members, if Yan Yibai couldn't become the Spirit Hall's Yan Yibai, then he would be nothing more than the Yan Yibai of hell. The Spirit Hall's top brass didn't want someone who could threaten the Spirit Hall to grow up. So Zuking had no choice but to take the risk. Publicly, he was the Crown Prince of the Heaven Dao Empire, armed with the might of the Heaven Dao Empire's royal knights. Secretly, she was the Spirit Hall's young master, holding a prestigious position, and backed by two titled Douluo guards. Zuking didn't believe that person would be so bold and ruthless. Yan Yibai had already intended to ally with the imperial family, and since Zuking had proposed it, there was no reason for him to refuse. Then I might have to trouble His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. Ning Fengxi smiled softly, his expression gentle. There are some things only a veteran like him could understand. Ning Fengxi knew Yan Yibai couldn't escape this fate. The Spirit Hall had its own considerations regarding the relative importance of the Crown Prince and a threat to the Spirit Hall. Without the Crown Prince, Emperor Zuyi wouldn't dare start a war unless he could find direct evidence. The Spirit Hall was too powerful. Furthermore, Emperor Zuyi still had his son. Therefore, he could kill two birds with one stone. Ning Fengxi was naturally pleased that a single attack from the 7 treasures glazed tile sect would yield double the effect. The next day, in Spirit City, the finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition were underway, with an 8-ringed Soul Douluo Cardinal as the referee. Seeing everyone had arrived, the referee announced loudly, the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition finals are about to begin. Teams, prepare. The match will begin in a quarter of an hour. The Pope is watching us, and the elders are watching us too. We carry the glory of the Spirit Hall with us. We absolutely cannot lose. Consider the consequences of failure. We must win this match, and not give them any chance. From any perspective, we have 3 Spirit Kings and 4 high-level Spirit Masters, while our opponents have only 2 Spirit Kings and 5 Spirit Masters. The advantage is ours. The balance of power has already tilted in our favor. The advantage is undoubtedly ours. Prepare for the match. Both teams may release their spirits, the Cardinal referee declared. The Spirit Academy team's 3 ZUs, standing at the forefront, each gleamed with the optimal spirit ring combination of 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 1 black. Behind ZU and the other 3, the other 4 also possessed the perfect combination of 4 spirit rings, 2 yellow and 2 purple. Each of their eyes was fixed with intense focus. The male student standing at the rear quickly took a step back, a brilliant golden scepter in his hand. Zuyu, the support type spirit master, was undoubtedly a versatile talent. Besides being able to heal and strengthen, his greatest strength was his ability to directly streamline the spirit fusion techniques of Ziyu and the others from the spirit hall. On the Wuji Academy team's side, Yibai led the way, displaying 5 spirit rings, 2 yellow, 1 purple, and 2 black. His spirit ring configuration was always eye-catching. Douluo flanked him. Feng Xiaoshan, standing behind Yibai, deployed a standard spirit ring configuration. Behind him, Yang Te, Yushan, and the others were equally determined, aiming to add a touch of intimidation to their group and overpower the 7 from the Spirit Academy. The match begins, the Cardinal commanded, signaling the start of the finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite Competition. Simultaneously, the red-robed elders quickly evacuated the venue. The Spirit Academy struck first, 7 members immediately springing into action, with the remaining 6 guarding Hulina at the forefront. However, in terms of reflexes, most of the Wuji Academy team was far inferior to the 7 from the Spirit Academy. The Wuji Academy had only been together for 2 years, while the Spirit Hall Elite team had been around for many years. Furthermore, they were all elite survivors of the trials and tribulations of the Forest of Death, so they possess greater team fighting experience than the Wuji Academy. A faint smile played across Hulina's face. With the release of her spirit, she seemed even more beautiful in the eyes of everyone, and a large furry tail sprouted from her back. A faint red light emanated from her, and her eyes flickered as she gazed at the Wuji Academy. Hulina's every smile and frown, her unique charm, drew everyone in. Her spirit ring illuminated, revealing her first spirit skill, Charm. Hulina's spirit ability was instantaneous. Drawing on her experience from her previous battle with the Thunder Academy, she unleashed her charm from the outset. The moment the charm was released from her spirit, Hulina was ready. The Wuji Academy members were instantly affected. Oscar, Yi Lingling, Yang Te, and Yushan were all affected, and Feng Xiaoshan was also affected. While his strength might rival that of a Soul King, his mental strength was still relatively weak. Similarly, Douluo was momentarily stunned by Hulina's mental charm, but she quickly regained consciousness. The Spirit Hall members also sprang into action after Hulina unleashed her spirit ability. The Wuji Academy side hadn't made any moves yet, seemingly having lost the initiative. Yibai remained expressionless. He understood their situation. Anyone favored by Bibidang was definitely more than just a pretty face. Yibai raised his hand slightly, and golden lightning descended upon the group, stimulating them to snap out of it. Chapter 138, Stinky Tofu Attacks, Disrupting the Spirit Hall Formation. First soul skill, Red Phosphorus Poison. Second soul skill, Blue Phosphorus Poison. Red Phosphorus Poison, a hyperactive poison that stimulates the nerves of allies, increasing their attack power and speed by 40%. Blue Phosphorus Poison, a paralyzing poison that numbs the nerves of allies and increases their defense by 50%. Clearly, the effects of this second soul skill could help Wuji Academy withstand the allure of Hulina from the Spirit Hall. Spiritual attributed soul masters are truly formidable. Feng Xiaoshan sighed inwardly after regaining consciousness. However, Feng Xiaoshan immediately focused on the battle. Third soul skill, Swift Wind Wings Unfold. First soul skill, Wind Blade Formation. Feng Xiaoshan soared into the air and immediately unleashed wind blades at the 5 rapidly approaching Spirit Hall elites. The wind blades continued uninterrupted as Feng Xiaoshan fired, buying his side time to counterattack. Oscar, Yang Te, and Yushan on their side had only just woken up. While it wouldn't take them long to react and take action, that was enough time for the Spirit Hall's men to charge over. A trifle. Yan sneered inwardly. First spirit skill, Hellish Magna Charge. Yang possessed the dual attribute Fire and Earth Spirit, the Flame Lord, and was also a dual attribute Soul King capable of both attack and defense. Following Feng Zai Ocean, Yan Yibai was also a match. Full. Yan Yibai raised his hand and clenched it, and then several bolts of lightning struck the spirit hall's men from a distance. What happened to us? We've fallen for their mental charm, Douluo Yan said coldly. Don't just stand there, they're already charging. Oscar, hurry. Douluo Yan urged. Oscar immediately began chanting soul spells and unleashing soul skills. This move by Hulina of the Spirit Hall truly disrupted the overall battle situation on the Wuji Academy side. It can only be said that suffering losses can help one improve. While crafting his spirit ability, Oscar glanced ahead. Seeing the Spirit Hall troops already halfway toward him, he instantly realized they had lost the upper hand. Oscar quickly crafted detoxifying garlic, flying mushrooms, and amplifying fruit. As for the stinky tofu, he'd leave it for later. While it was effective, it also hindered combat. Stinky tofu, it was truly stinky. However, Yan Yibai frowned slightly when he saw Oscar hadn't crafted any. He had a different use for Oscar's first spirit ability. He then said to Oscar, Oscar, craft your first spirit ability. It doesn't take too many. Once you're finished, fly over them and throw them down. Yan Yibai pointed at the Spirit Hall elite team, who were still approaching. Oscar was stunned for a moment, then a lewd smile appeared on his face. Hehehe. I understand, boss. Oscar quickly tossed his items to the others for them to divide among themselves. He then ate a fresh flying mushroom, and a pair of cyan wings carried him into the air. First soul skill, lovely fragrant tender tofu. Oscar chanted a soul spell while soaring through the air, then held pieces of tender white stinky tofu in his hands. Try my tofu. Oscar quickly made contact with the Spirit Hall's personnel and tossed the stinky tofu down from mid-air. Yan Yibai couldn't help but smile slightly at Oscar's sleazy yet driven demeanor. Although Oscar usually appeared careless, his stinky tofu could be surprisingly effective in crucial moments, like right now, completely unexpectedly. Oscar's movements were stealthy and swift, and with Feng Zai Ocean and Yan Yibai directly in front of them distracting the enemy, by the time they realized the object was falling, it was too late. Oscar nimbly darted through the air, continuing to toss the stinky tofu at his opponent. His first soul skill, restoring the stinky tofu, didn't consume much soul energy for Oscar at this point, and he actually enjoyed it, if he could disgust his opponent. The stinky tofu traced eerie arcs through the air, carrying an indescribable stench that made the Spirit Hall elites frown and cover their noses. What the hell? Yan frowned, then waved his hand to incinerate the stinky tofu that was closest to him. But that only affected him. Ah. What a stinky tofu. Zhang Ping dodged, but the stench was too strong. The Spirit Hall's men began to panic, and they were now only 10 meters from Wuji Academy. Ha 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 ha. Let me show you my power. Oscar laughed triumphantly, his voice echoing through the air, filled with defiance and triumph. Yan Yibai, observing Oscar's arrogance, shook his head in amusement. While Oscar's actions were somewhat shameless, they did effectively disrupt the Spirit Hall elite's rhythm and morale. Ha 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 ha. I didn't expect Oscar's first spirit ability to have this effect. His stinky tofu is finally having another purpose. Feng Zai Ocean, upon seeing the Spirit Hall's men's disarray, burst into amusement. The same thing happened to Yang Tae and Niu Shan. They had also suffered from Oscar's stinky tofu in the beginning. Yan Yibai also wanted to disgust them, otherwise he wouldn't have thought of such a cunning trick. Ziyu's face was sullen, having assumed they had the upper hand. Don't let their little tricks distract you, Yan. Leave it to me. Ha! Yan erupted with power, his scorching heat incinerating the stinky tofu that had fallen to the ground. Don't watch the show. Since they've come to us, there's no need to be polite. Treat them well. Yan Yibai waved his right hand, and the thunderblade appeared in his hand. Fourth soul skill. Yan Yibai's fourth soul ring illuminated, and he swung the thunderblade in his hand. The tip of the blade released a column of cold air wrapped in lightning, striking the 5 Spirit Hall members. Fourth soul skill, demonic wolf storm. Feng Zai Ocean soared through the air, and the intense wind energy gathered into a phantasmagoria wolf head, which opened its mouth and bit the Spirit Hall members. Fourth soul skill, cold dragon poison. Third soul skill, green phosphorus poison ring. Fifth soul skill, cold dragon icy erosion. Douluo Yan unleashed 3 soul skills in quick succession. Not to be outdone, Yang Tae and Ayushan gathered their strength and stomped on the ground, sending it rolling. Yang Tae unleashed his soul skills, charging a powerful blow and throwing a soul-breaking spear. Third soul skill, Hellfire. Fifth soul skill, Flying Sand and Wild Flames. Yan immediately activated his soul skills upon witnessing the lightning and icicle pillars following Yan Yibei's attack. Pillars of lava rose up to defend against the Wuji Academy's attack. He then unleashed his second soul skill and arrived in front of Hulina to protect her. Chapter 139. Both sides targets. Auxiliary Spirit Masters. Chaotic Battle. Break. The evil moon spirit ring flashed. He swung his moon blade spirit, slashing out a dark red blade. Sun Chuanteo controlled the giant circular blade. His spirit could be wielded with both hands, or controlled with spirit power. However, using it this way was more energy intensive. His first spirit skill was a strengthening and amplifying spirit skill, which greatly enhanced the giant circular blade's attack power. When Yan Yibei first met Sun Chuanteo, he thought he was a promising prospect. His spirit was also excellent, but he simply wasn't using it correctly. Third spirit skill, Circular Sharpness. Sun Chuanteo shouted softly, and the giant circular blade instantly shone brightly. The sharp edge seemed to cut through the air, carrying an indestructible aura, closely following the dark red blade of the evil moon. Fengzai Ocean. Yan Yibei, holding the thunder blade in his right hand, stared ahead and softly called out Fengzai Ocean's name. Fengzai Ocean didn't respond with words, but his actions spoke for him. He accelerated and flew towards the rear of the spirit hall. Yan Yibei's spirit rings gradually began to pulse. His first, second, and third spirit skills pulsed in unison, shimmering with light. The simultaneous use of these three amplifying spirit skills gradually boosted Yan Yibei's overall strength to a level nearly rivaling that of a Soul Emperor. The amplified effect was truly terrifying. Such soul power. Soul Emperor. His first three spirit rings are all amplifying skills. This brat. Behind Bibidang, Douluo, dressed in women's clothing, bit his lip. In front of him, Bibidang seemed oblivious to the noise, silently watching the match. Snap, snap, snap. Golden scales quickly covered Yan Yibei's hands and chest. Dragon transformation. As Yan Yibei unleashed his spirit skills, Dugu Yan, Yang Tae, Ayushan, and the others were already airborne, awaiting his attack. Blue Dragon Break. With his external spirit bone, Laming, Yan Yibei could unleash a vast array of abilities. The only drawback was his blue bar, or spirit power. Fortunately, Yan Yibei possessed a considerable amount of soul power, and his soul power recovery efficiency had been significantly enhanced by the blue silver emperor soulbone. Therefore, Yan Yibei's true strength couldn't be assessed simply by soul power level, or Thunder Dragon, condensed with soul power, appeared, and lightning flashed. The next moment, the Thunder Dragon, wrapped in thunder, struck Ziyu and the others. Ziyu, at the rear of the spirit hall, guarded by Li Kei, saw this without hesitation, and his fourth soul ring illuminated. Fengzai Ocean, charging at him, quickly unleashed wind blades, attempting to interrupt Ziyu's soul skills. However, Li Kei was no pushover. He unleashed his soul skills to protect Ziyu. With Li Kei's support, Ziyu was able to successfully unleash his soul skills. Fourth soul skill, Bright Decree. The golden scepter in Ziyu's hand instantly radiated a sacred light, enveloping the entire arena. Yan Yibei's Azure Dragon Break followed closely behind. Bang! A massive roar sent smoke and dust billowing. Dugu Yan, Yang Tae, Ayushan and others stared intently at the smoke. However, the next moment, a huge reddish-brown arm emerged from the smoke, targeting Yan Yibei. Yan Yibei dodged it with a leap. Yan Yibei swallowed the flying mushroom given by Oscar to cover up his soul bone skills. Following the reddish-brown arm, the smoke dissipated, revealing something hidden behind the arm. It was the martial soul fusion skill of Yan and Ziyu, the Lord of Evil Moon. Yan Yibei flew towards the Lord of Evil Blade with a knife in hand. The snow white blade and the blade on the arm of the Lord of Evil Blade began a head-on battle. It is undoubtedly difficult to deal with the three soul kings of the spirit hall, Ziyu, Hulina, and Yan, especially Yan, who is not only strong in attack power, but also has a high defense attribute. So, back at Wuji Academy, Douluo Yan, after witnessing the Spirit Halls to Soul Kings unleash their spirit fusion technique, and seeing Yibai still able to fight alone with his sword, launched a powerful attack towards the Spirit Hall's support type Spirit Master Zuyu and defense type Spirit Master Li Ke. In a stalemate, a team battle hinges on attrition and logistics. Douluo Yan immediately went to support Feng Zai Ocean, aiming to eliminate the support type Spirit Master before the Spirit Hall could arrive to assist. Niu Tao and Yang Te, remaining in the fight, kept a close eye on the remaining Spirit Hall members, Hu Lina, Sun Chuan Teo, and Zhang Ping. Oscar and Li Lingling retreated to the rear. Not only were Douluo Yan and her group keeping an eye on Hu Lina and her group, but they were also keeping a close eye on Douluo Yan and the other two. Zhang Ping, go stop her. Hu Lina shouted immediately upon witnessing Douluo Yan's actions. Then, as if remembering something, she said to Sun Chuan Teo, Sun Chuan Teo, you go too. Without hesitation, Sun Chuan Teo turned and rushed to the rear. Hu Lina remembered Douluo Yan's poison. Although they had taken precautions, there was a limit. If Zhang Ping alone went, Zhang Ping, Li Ke, and even Zuyu would be at a disadvantage against Soul King level warriors and Douluo Yan's poison. Seeing that Hu Lina was alone in the battle at the forefront of the Spirit Hall, and the evil Blade Lord, using his spirit fusion technique, was being firmly restrained by Yibai, Yang Te and Niu Shan launched a fierce attack on Hu Lina without hesitation. The Cyan wings behind them made their figures resemble two gusts of wind, leaping across space and bearing down on Hu Lina. Despite this sudden attack, Hu Lina's face remained unfazed. Her first two spirit rings illuminated, and her eyes shone with an alluring luster. Instantly, Yang Te and Niu Shan's eyes grew hazy, and their flying bodies slowed. Their movement seemed constrained by an invisible force, each step proving exceedingly difficult. Hu Lina's charm technique instantly turned the tide of battle, bringing the two soul sect masters under her control. Hu Lina's spirit was a demon fox, endowed with incredibly potent charm abilities. Her first 5 spirit skills were all based on charm, giving her exceptional control over them. Naturally, this also meant her primary attack method was melee. Although she had Yang Te and Niu Shan under control, Hu Lina felt a pang of discomfort. The current battle situation was drastically different from the plan envisioned by the Spirit Hall elite team yesterday. They had confidently planned to have Zhang Ping hunt down the two support type spirit masters from Wuji Academy to weaken their opponent's combat effectiveness. However, as fate would have it, the Spirit Hall was now at a disadvantage, caught off guard by the Wuji Academy's counterattack. However, just when Hu Lina thought she could still support other battles, Yang Te and Niu Shan suddenly broke through her mental enchantment. Blood dripped from both of their hands. It was clear that they had used the pain to break the enchantment. Chapter 140, Alone against the evil Blade Lord. Breaking through the mind control by inflicting pain on the nerves. This was the method Yibai had taught them. While this method sounded simple, the most challenging aspect was maintaining clear self-awareness. Specifically, it meant recognizing that one was under control and understanding that everything before one's eyes was an illusion. At this point, one cannot help but lament the deep hatred the Po and Ju clans held for the Spirit Hall. It was precisely this hatred that allowed Yang Tao and Niu Shan to maintain their composure. Upon regaining consciousness, Yang Te and Niu Shan stared at Hu Lina with bloodshot eyes, charging at her with swift speed. Look at those bloodshot eyes. How furious she must have been. Hu Lina had no other choice but to counterattack, while simultaneously using her spirit abilities to control the two men and slow their movements. It's fair to say that Niu Shan and Yang Te had no idea what had happened to them under the spell that had fueled their rage, a level so intense that even Hu Lina's more powerful control spirit abilities couldn't contain them for much longer. As expected, anger, darkening, and so on are all great ways to boost one's combat effectiveness. However, Hu Lina, after all, was a survivor of the Spirit Hall's elite goo insect program. Even though she lacked offensive spirit skills, her boxing and kicking abilities were no slouch, her physical strength was immense, and her combat experience was extensive, making every move a lethal one. Therefore, overall, she was still on the defensive against Yang Te and Niu Shan. Meanwhile, Douluo Yan had already arrived at the battlefield between Feng Zai Ocean and Li Ke before Zhang Ping. 5th spirit skill, cold dragon ice erosion. Feng Zai Ocean soared into the air upon hearing Du Guyan's voice. Du Guyan's voice alerted not only Feng Zai Ocean, but also Li Kai. 3rd spirit skill, crazy pig transformation. 2nd spirit skill, black gold defense. Li Kai's body immediately glowed with a black light, and a black gold shield appeared above his armor. The next moment, Kuang Bei's ice spikes struck Li Kai. Taking advantage of Li Kai's temporary inability to protect the Spirit Hall's auxiliary spirit masters, Feng Zai Ocean, soaring mid-air, immediately rushed towards Zuyu. 3rd spirit skill, golden ring feather arrow. Just as Feng Zai Ocean charged, a golden light blazed towards him. Yes, Zhang Ping had arrived. After blocking Feng Zai Ocean's attack with a single blow, Zhang Ping quickly flew towards him, her golden claws reaching out towards him. 1st spirit skill, healing light. 2nd spirit skill, restoring light. 3rd spirit skill, amplifying light. Zuyu breathed a sigh of relief upon seeing Zhang Ping arrive. He raised the golden scepter and unleashed his first 3 spirit skills in quick succession. His 3rd spirit skill, like Oscar's 4th, amplified all attributes. However, this one was more convenient than Oscar's. Li Kai withstood Du Guyan's 5th soul skill, but he wasn't having an easy time either. Although he was a level 48 defensive type combat soul master, Du Guyan was unleashing a soul skill of 10,000 years, a significant difference. Zuyu's assistance came just in time. Du Guyan wasn't disappointed that she hadn't defeated the enemy with a single blow. Her goal wasn't to completely defeat Li Kai, and her primary tactic wasn't the physical attack of the icicles, but the toad venom hidden within them. Immediately afterwards, Du Guyan's 4th and 3rd soul rings began to flash. Facing Du Guyan's poison, Li Kai didn't dare to be careless. His plan was simple, retreat. Sun Chuan-Tao, not far from them, saw Du Guyan's soul rings flashing, and unleashed his own soul skill without hesitation. 1st soul skill, soul chasing ghostly blade. Sun Chuan-Tao hurled the giant blade ring at Du Guyan. Bang, bang, bang. Yibai's figure flashed through the air. Every time the thunder blade struck the evil blade lord, a golden flash of lightning flashed. So, despite the evil blade lord's immense strength, his physical attacks were ineffective against Yibai due to his vastly larger frame. Rising dragon explosion. The evil blade lord unleashed a massive column of flame. It rose directly from the ground, instantly engulfing Yibai. However, Yibai's inherent agility, coupled with his ability to fly, nimbly allowed him to dodge the rising flames. Instead, Yibai broke through the flames envelope and continued his attack on the evil blade lord. 4th soul skill. Yibai flew towards the evil blade lord. The Thunderblade's blade unleashed a column of ice surrounded by lightning. This time, Yibai aimed for the evil blade lord's legs. The ice froze the evil blade lord's feet, followed by a surge of lightning. Roar. The evil blade lord roared, his entire body erupting in flames, effortless shattering the icicles. Yibai, unknowingly, had already charged at the back of the evil blade lord's head at breakneck speed. His thunderblade had shifted to his left hand. Lightning gathered, and the dense lightning in his right hand transformed into a ball of light. Bang! His right fist struck the back of the evil blade lord's head, and the light transformed into a dense stream of lightning. Crackle! The dense lightning rained down on the evil blade lord like a torrential rainstorm, causing him to tremble, and his flames to seem suppressed. Yibai's Benquin, carrying the force of lightning, struck the back of the evil blade lord's head hard. The powerful impact caused the evil blade lord's massive body to involuntarily tilt forward. However, the evil blade lord was under human control after all, and he quickly adjusted his body and stabilized his position. Anger flashed in his eyes, and the flames on his body blazed again, as if to devour Yibai. 2 Soul King's combined spirits are truly formidable. Yibai thought to himself. Within the evil blade lord, Yan was furious. This guy, his fire has no effect on him. And how come he still has so much spirit power? However, compared to Yan, Ziyu noticed that in the other 2 battles on the field, his spirit hall side clearly had a slight advantage. Yibai's attacks were no match for their combined spirits. So, Ziyu's leadership instincts led him to ignore Yibai for now, and focus on Oscar and Yilingling. Ziyu knew clearly that Yun Yibai wouldn't stand by while they attacked their supports. Whether it meant eliminating the 2 support type spirit masters or forcing Yun Yibai to withstand their attacks head on, it was a win-win situation. The evil Blade Lord immediately charged towards Oscar and Yilingling, his massive body charging towards them. Rising Dragon Explosion. Flame Field. The flames swept towards Oscar and Yilingling, and soon they were surrounded by flames. Although Oscar and Yilingling could fly, they were not as immune to flames as Yun Yibai. There is one thing I still want to explain. The Blademen of the Spirit Hall in the comics don't have names, so I use the ones in the novels. This is a drawback. Sorry. Chapter 141. The moon is as cold as frost, and the thunder is as powerful as thunder. That kid is a freak. A single Soul King can battle to such an extent against 2 Soul Kings using their combined spirits. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex spirit, and it's already capable of 3 dragon-like transformations. Whether it's attack or defense, he can't be considered an ordinary Soul King. Furthermore, he has 2 10,000-year spirit abilities. It's no exaggeration to say he's a weaker Soul Emperor. A viewer with deep knowledge of spirits commented, "This is the most exciting match I've seen in years. This lineup is the best ever. Hey, something feels off to me. Our Spirit Hall team may seem to have the advantage, but the opposing Wuji Academy is using 5 members to pin down our Spirit Hall team's 6. Shrek Academy wasn't sure what they were thinking, but they hadn't left yet. Xiao Wu, though she was using some sort of concealing method to conceal her spirit beast aura, thankfully didn't reveal it this time. Xiao-san, you didn't deserve to lose. Master Yu Xiao Gang sighed as he watched the battle between the Spirit Hall elite team and Wuji Academy. If you or Yibai were to face the Spirit Hall's 2 Soul Kings martial soul fusion technique, do you think you would be better than them? Yu Xiao Gang asked. Perhaps it was because Yun Yibai possessed the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial soul that Yu Xiao Gang himself was prejudiced, but he had no intention of discrediting Yun Yibai. Tangsen shook his head. But teacher, although he is stronger than me now, he will definitely not be as strong as me in the future. Tangsen said confidently. This was naturally because he possessed 2 martial souls. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to make such boasts. Yu Xiao Gang was very pleased. He was happy that his disciple Tangsen had such an awareness. Moreover, he had already obtained the cultivation method of twin martial souls from Bibidong, so he didn't have to worry about Tangsen following in the footsteps of those twin-spirited soul masters in history books. However, it's important to say that there are always people who are better than you. If Master is not mistaken, the object in Yun Yibai's hand should be an external spirit bone similar to your 8 spider lances. How is that possible? Tangsen was shocked. He had never seen an external spirit bone that looked exactly like a weapon. Xiao-san, I've told you before that external spirit bones can evolve. And I don't know what they will eventually evolve into. Xiao-san, your external spirit bone also has extremely high growth potential. Master believes in you. How could one describe Yu Xiao Gang? He was proud and dignified, but also possessed a low self-esteem. He held back when insulted. Of course, this was also because this was Douluo continent, a world where strength reigned supreme. So, Yu Xiao Gang wanted to prove himself to the world. The strange thing was that, on this continent, the people who insulted Yu Xiao Gang the most were from his own Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan, and they were the ones who insulted him the most fiercely. But Yu Xiao Gang wasn't angry at them. He simply felt he'd brought shame upon the clan, and he desperately wanted to prove himself to them, to redeem the reputation he'd brought upon the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. Shrek and Yu Xiao Gang weren't the only ones shocked. The shock was also palpable at Thunder Academy, especially Yu Xianheng and Yu Xiangxin, known as the twin stars of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus clan. They'd grown up surrounded by praise, and Yun Yibai, who had previously been beneath them, had suddenly surpassed them by such a huge margin. This drastic shift left them with mixed feelings. However, neither of them was prone to jealousy. Yu Xiaojun, the Thunder Academy teacher leading the team, had a fleeting look in his eyes. The clan really misjudged us this time. This Yun Yibai wasn't the unruly and unruly person the Yuan generation had described him as. He was clearly a daring, innovative, and unconventional genius. He was clearly someone who dared to experiment. Perhaps this time, I can bring about some new changes in the clan. Yu Xiaojun thought to himself. Yu Xiaojun himself wasn't a stubborn rigid person. His thinking remained relatively open, considering he was only in his 50s. It was precisely because of this open-mindedness that he chose to attend Thunder Academy. Thunder Academy's training environment naturally couldn't compare to that of the Blow Lightning Tyrant clan, but Yu Xiaojun didn't want his ideas completely assimilated. The evil Blade Lord was a fusion of Yan and Ziyu's spirits, allowing him to wield not only Yan's flames, but also Ziyu's moonblade. A moonblade appeared in the evil Blade Lord's hand, joining the two blades. He swung it, creating a hurricane-like force. His actions severely impacted the movements of Oscar and Yilingling, both of whom were essentially support-type spirit masters. After forcibly controlling Oscar and Yilingling's movements, the evil Blade Lord began his hunt. Die, you little support bugs. The evil Blade Lord quickly seized control of Oscar and Yilingling's movement space. He then spun the combined moonblade in his hand, slashing out with a dark red bladder light. As the evil Blade Lord swung the moonblade, Yan Yibai had already appeared before Oscar and Yilingling. Yan and Ziyu's actions were effective. They had indeed forced Yan Yibai to confront them head-on. Yan Yibai grasped the thunder blade and swung it forward. A golden wave of lightning emanated from it. The two attacks collided. The aftermath of the explosion dispersed much of the surrounding flames. Oscar and Yilingling took advantage of the situation to escape. Ha ha ha, why aren't you running away this time? Ha 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 ha. The evil Blade Lord continued his fierce attack. Yan Yibai met each blow with his sword. Yilingling. Yan Yibai suddenly shouted. This cry was like a signal. Under Oscar's protection, Yilingling immediately unleashed her martial spirit. A rich life energy emanated from her body. Yilingling infused this life energy into Yan Yibai's body. As the rich life energy flowed into Yan Yibai's body, Yan Yibai immediately felt a surge in the activity of his cells. The more active the cells, the greater the explosive power. This life energy also activated his blue-silver Emperor Soulbone. Go to hell. The evil Blade Lord raised his moonblade high. Yan Yibai's eyes suddenly opened, a flash of lightning flashing across them. He whispered, the crescent moon is as cold as frost, the thunder is mighty. Yan Yibai's soul power poured into the thunder blade, and thunder converged on it. The power of the attached soul bone was activated, and the thunder blade glowed with purple light. The next moment, a ray of purple light slashed towards the evil Blade Lord. Chapter 142, Domain Expanded, Wuxiang Sword. Sword Key. No, it's Blade Key. Sword Douluo, hidden in the shadows, was stunned by Yan Yibai's attack. As a master swordsman, he naturally discerned the implications of Yan Yibai's move. Furthermore, Yan Yibai's Blade Key also incorporated the elemental power of thunder. Beyond Blade Key and Sword Key comes Intention, and both Blade Intention and Sword Intention can significantly enhance a spirit master's strength. The purple blade light traced a perfect half-moon arc in the air, colliding with the evil Blade Lord. Yan Yibai's actions naturally alarmed the other competitors on the field. As Yan Yibai unleashed his power, Oscar and Yilingling had already retreated. Hulina, Yangte, and Yu Xian also retreated. The attack lasted only a moment. The purple blade light flashed, and Yan Yibai fell to the ground. A massive crack appeared at the waist of the evil Blade Lord's massive body, the residual force of the lightning still lingering, and the evil Blade Lord threatened to split in half. The Thundering Hellvine, legendary as a miraculous soul beast bearing the bloodline of the Thunder God, possesses its external soul bone, the Thunder Blade, as part of the Thundering Hellvine. Yan Yibai's current strength is limited to that of a Soul King, otherwise he wouldn't be able to unleash the Thunder Blade's even more astonishing power. The Thundering Hellvine embodies the ultimate power of thunder. Hiss. The audience gasped in delight as Yan Yibai's weapon once again stunned the audience. A martial soul fusion technique, yet it was broken by a fellow Soul King. What on earth is the origin of that external soul bone in his hand? Sword Douluo, in the shadows, froze. Blade Key might be powerful, but it alone couldn't break even more powerful martial soul fusion techniques. The key to the problem lay in Yan Yibai's weapon. Fengxi. That kid from Wuji Academy is in danger. Sword Douluo's great voice echoed in Ning Fengxi's mind. The power displayed by that kid's external spirit bone is enough to drive some people to take risks. I'm sure this trip back to Wuji Academy won't go smoothly. Giant Douluo was certain that, even if Spirit Hall didn't take action this time, someone else would. Uncle Jian, it looks like we can completely bind that kid to our chariot this time. I might have to trouble you, Uncle Jian. Giant Douluo, yes. This kid is a promising talent. Making friends with him would be extremely beneficial to our 7 treasures glazed tile sect. Yibai displayed the power of the Thunder Blade, and many at the scene were already greedy. For them, no matter what it was, as long as Yibai was dead, they would have a chance to obtain it. Not good. Hulina, seeing this, quickly rushed towards the evil Blade Lord. Hulina's behavior was extremely incomprehensible to the many onlookers. However, the Spirit Hall elite team members were well aware of it, especially the protected Zuyu. His actions were coordinated with Hulina's. As Hulina moved, he raised the golden scepter high in his hand. 4th soul skill, Illuminating Decree. This time, Zuyu's primary targets were Hulina and the evil Blade Lord. Holy light enveloped them, and not only Yibai, but the rest of Wuji Academy could sense that something terrifying was about to emerge from this holy light. Yangtai, Niu-shan, quickly support Feng Zai Ocean, and finish them off. I'll buy you some time. With that, Yibai, clutching the Thunder Blade, swung a stream of blade energy. Without hesitation, Niu-shan and Yangtai swallowed the 3rd flying mushroom Oscar had given them, and quickly rushed to support Feng Zai Ocean and the others. Yibai's attack was ineffective. The holy light dissipated, revealing a figure over 2 meters tall. This figure wore a mask, a foxtail trailing behind it, and dark red armor. 2 moon blades belonging to Ziyu hovered in each of its hands. This was the fusion of 3 souls from the Spirit Hall's Golden Generation Demon Charm. Although Yaome's stature had shrunk, as the saying goes, concentration is essence. While the triple soul fusion technique was currently a weakened version due to soul power depletion, its normal combat power was still that of a mid to high level soul emperor. When Ziyu, in control, unleashed his own unique soul techniques, its combat power rivaled that of a soul sage. Crucially, this wasn't a half-hearted power-up like Tang San's. Yaomei was capable of sustained combat. Triple soul fusion technique. I didn't expect that. Besides me, Flanders, and Erlong, there were other soul masters capable of performing it. So this is the Spirit Hall's true trump card. Yu Xiaogang's expression was solemn. I didn't expect he could actually break Yan and Ziyu's soul fusion technique. But, that brat is doomed this time, Douluo chuckled. Not only them, but everyone was now pessimistic about Yibai. Yaomei ignored Yibai for the moment. The moon blades in its hands rose into the air, emitting a lavender glow and a surge of purple soul power. Purple flame burst. It clasped its hands together, and the 2 moon blades merged and flew into the air, followed by streams of purple moon blade flames that swept towards Feng Zai Ocean and the others. Blue Dragon Break. Yibai swung his sword directly, activated by thunder, greatly amplifying his attack. The Thunder Dragon blocked most of the purple moonblade flames, but some were missed. However, the missed ones were enough to throw Yangtai and the others off balance. Li Kai and Sun Chuanteo of the Spirit Hall seized the opportunity to launch a counterattack. I was thinking of dealing with you later, but now it seems you really want to die soon. The demonic spirit's voice was neither positive nor negative. It had noticed the situation with Sun Chuanteo and the others shifting, and it turned its attention back to Yibai. If Sun Chuanteo and the others were eliminated, even it wouldn't be certain of victory in this match. It might not care about Sun Chuanteo and the others, but it wanted to win honor for the Spirit Hall. Yibai held the Thunderblade in hand, 2 fingers of his left hand flexed in front of him. Yibai's 5th spirit ring lit up, and his 5th spirit skill, Senlo Thunder Domain, activated. Lightning flashed, and lightning intertwined, forming a lightning domain that enveloped everything around him. Yibai controlled the scope of the forest domain. The smaller the scope, the greater the improvement. Pointless struggle. The demon was extremely confident in his own strength. HMPH. The demon snorted coldly, and in a flash, it was behind Yibai. The lightning was no longer a big threat to it. Deploy the domain. Wuxiang Yadao. The battle escalated, but Oscar, who had been selectively forgotten, had already sneaked up to the side of Zuyu, the auxiliary spirit master of the Spirit Hall. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 Oscar breaks. From a short distance, the demon spirit controlled the moon blade in its hand, striking at Yibai's head. Expand the domain. Unthinking blade. With a low cry, Yibai's body suddenly surged with intense energy, as if the entire space were being drawn by his will. The power of the forest's thunder domain rapidly contracted around him, forming a tight lightning field that enveloped everything around him. The lightning on Yibai's body gradually shifted from gold to purple, a sign that his lightning power had reached a certain level. The purple lightning continuously converged on his thunder blade, making it emit a dazzling light that seemed to tear through all obstacles. Yibai grasped the thunder blade in his hand and turned around to swing at the demon spirit behind him. It instantly struck the demon spirit's attacking moon blade. The two purple blade lights clashed. The collision of the blades instantly erupted with a sharp thunderous sound. Under the pressure of the powerful soul power, the ground beneath Yibai and the demon spirit completely collapsed. The energy surge created by the two forces emanated from the blade's tip, sweeping outward in all directions. The next moment, however, the moon blade controlled by the demon was sent flying. A purple blade beam pierced the sky, carrying endless lightning power as it charged towards the demon. The demon was speechless. It hadn't even used its ultimate attack, yet the opponent immediately used it upon approaching. It seemed the opponent's soul power was free. The demon clasped its hands together, quickly returning the moon blade to its original position. Under its control, the moon blade briefly merged into a circular blade, then held in front of it to ward off Yibai's attack. Elsewhere, Rasengan, Oscar, taking advantage of the moment when Sun Chuanteo and the others were entangled, swallowed several flying mushrooms, condensed a wind-attributed soul ball in his hand, and flew at top speed towards Zuyu. Bang! Zuyu hadn't anticipated being attacked by the opponent's support-type soul master, so he hadn't taken any precautions. Oscar's attack landed on Zuyu. The sudden attack sent Zuyu flying. The Rasengan itself was a form of attack generated by compressed soul power. But that wasn't the end of it. Oscar gave Zuyu no chance, eliminating him in a matter of seconds. Such a dramatic scene naturally captured the audience's attention. If I saw correctly, it seems that the food-type support spirit master from Wuji Academy eliminated the support spirit master from the spirit hall. Someone said in astonishment. Are all the people from Wuji Academy so arrogant? One person dared to use a spirit fusion technique head-on, using a support spirit master as a combat spirit master. Who could believe this? A support spirit master, and one with a food type spirit, actually unleashed the combat power of a strong attack type combat spirit master. The audience, mostly from Wuhan City, had never witnessed Oscar's unusual performance before, nor were they aware of the existence of Oscar as a variable in the support spirit master system. Well done, Oscar. Yang Te cheered Oscar's actions. After Oscar eliminated Zuyu, Feng Ocean's team at Wuji Academy was greatly encouraged. Feng Ocean, Du Guyan, Niu Shan, and Yang Te launched an even more intense attack on Sun Chuanteo, Zhang Ping, and Li Ke. Their goal had shifted, previously eliminating Zuyu, now eliminating Sun Chuanteo and the other two. Oscar's shift also affected the battle between Yibai and Yeomei. With Zuyu eliminated, Yeomei became completely restless. A flash of light flashed from the circular blade, and countless tiny moon blades suddenly swarmed towards Yibai like a barrage of arrows. Yibai raised his blade in defense. Yeomei seized this opportunity to launch a final attack, ready to eliminate Yibai once and for all. Yibai was the biggest obstacle in their quest for the championship. Yeomei hovered in mid-air, unleashing the full spiritual power of Hulina, Ziyu, and Yan. The two moon blades returned to Yeomei's hands. Yeomei slowly stretched her arms to her sides, unfurling the moon blades into a circle. The demon moved, its body whirling like a whirlwind. In an instant, its entire form and the two moon blades vanished, leaving only a vast white disk. Any lightning bolts approaching it were completely blocked. Moonslay. Based on Ziyu's original spirit skill, Round Moon, it was a forged version of his own spirit skill, combined with the fusion of 3 spirits. Round Moon was Ziyu's own spirit skill, initiated by the moon blades. A circle is the most perfect shape, and when used, it resembles a full white moon. This is actually Ziyu spinning his 2 moon blades at an astonishing speed. Ziyu can use this skill alone, or in his spirit fusion state. The round moon used in this state is Ziyu's most powerful move, having once defeated his teacher, a level 68 Soul Emperor, upon reaching the 5th ring Soul King stage. Due to its immense power, Round Moon is known as his unbreakable original spirit skill. The battle on Fengzai Ocean's side was swift. Without Ziyu's support, it was only a matter of time before Sun Chuanteo and the other 2 were defeated. Furthermore, Du Guyan's poison was taking effect. More crucially, Yan Yibai needed to hold off the 3 spirit abilities for a while. Otherwise, the demonic spirit would intervene, and the battle would drag on. Ziyu had once defeated a level 68 Soul Emperor when he mastered the 3-person spirit fusion technique, but now was even more incomparable. Yan Yibai's Senluo domain continued to shrink, and his aura intensified. No matter how powerful Yan Yibai was, he was still only a Soul King. He couldn't claim to be able to completely defeat the 3 Soul King spirit fusion technique. This was too absurd. Yan Yibai was using his last resort to shrink his domain and amplify his own strength to its maximum. His aura now surpassed that of a Soul King. Yan Yibai stopped taking the demonic spirit's spinning moon blade attack head on and released 2 purple blade beams. They landed on the demonic spirit, but had no effect. Yan Yibai shifted his weapon to his left hand, then dodged the demon's attack with a sideways movement. Blue Dragon Break. He launched an attack with his left hand. Meanwhile, Du Guyan's poison finally took effect. Sun Chuanteo and his companions gradually lost their strength and were eliminated by Fengzai Ocean and his companions. Everyone at Wuji Academy knew that the Spirit Hall's men were definitely cheating, but the situation was stronger than anyone, and with the Spirit Hall's power, any objections were futile. After dealing with Sun Chuanteo, Fengzai Ocean and his companions could fully focus on Yan Yibai's battle. Chapter 144, 2 Rings and 1 Bone Corrosion Ice, Victory. The clanging of weapons was like a symphony. They couldn't clearly see Yan Yibai and the demon, but the purple gold and dark purple lights clashed continuously across the arena, sometimes on the ground, sometimes in midair. That guy. Fengzai Ocean muttered inwardly. He marveled at Yan Yibai's fighting prowess. With such power, no ordinary Soul Emperor could possibly stand against him. Let's go together. They're the only ones left in the Spirit Hall. Fengzai Ocean smiled at the remaining group. But Du Guyan interrupted. Let me go first. Fengzai Ocean and the others had no objection. Since Du Guyan said so, she must have a point. They had a rough idea of what Du Guyan was up to. As members of the Wuji Academy, they knew Yan Yibai well enough to know him well. They knew Yan Yibai wasn't afraid of poison. Immediately, they all flew towards Yan Yibai and the demon. Come on. Let's end this match. Du Guyan flew closer, her 4th and 5th soul rings illuminating one after another. 4th soul skill, Cold Dragon Poison. Following her 4th soul skill, Du Guyan used the soul skill from the left arm bone of the 40,000-year-old Zuking Ice Toad. This is a very practical soul skill that enhances cold poison. Strictly speaking, this skill has no upper limit. The lower limit is entirely derived from Du Guyan herself. The degree to which the cold poison can be enhanced depends entirely on the quality of the Soul Master's poison attribute and the soul power consumed. The more soul power consumed, the stronger the poison. Corrosive Ice. Du Guyan's soul power surged. Corrosive Ice combines the 4th soul ring of the 1,000-year-old Zuking Ice Toad, the 5th soul ring of the 10,000-year-old Zuking Ice Toad, and the left arm bone of the 40,000-year-old Zuking Ice Toad. This combined skill is Du Guyan's most powerful attack to date. Corrosive Ice condenses the poison itself into a liquid, then combines it with her soul power, resulting in a poison that is nearing extreme levels of toxicity. After obtaining the soul rings and soul bones, Du Guyan had also experimented with this technique at Yan Yibai's suggestion. Even a tiny drop of this corrosive ice is enough to sap most spirit beasts around 10,000 years old, and it's also effective against spirit beasts older than that. This applies to spirit beasts, and it's equally effective against human spirit masters. If exposed directly and unprotected, Douluo Yan's poison is effective even against spirit sages. A 6th ring spirit master would undoubtedly die if exposed without protection. Even a 5th ring spirit master, even if they used soul power for protection, would be instantly consumed by the venom's corrosive power. Back then, Yang Wudi and his team had captured a low-level spirit emperor who had committed crimes. Born a commoner, this low-level spirit emperor, upon gaining power, had a penchant for treason. However, he possessed a certain cunning, constantly skirting the spirit hall's rules. Since these spirit masters hadn't yet fully fallen, the spirit hall hadn't intervened. After all, its primary mission was to hunt down fallen spirit masters. This demonstrates the power of this poison. Douluo Yan used this skill to corrode the evil Soul Emperor's spirit shield in a short while. Ultimately, in the brief moment the poison entered his system, the Soul Emperor's life of evil ended. And this was only the best Douluo Yan could achieve at a current Soul King level. However, this only captured the power of this skill. Even more terrifying was the inherent lock-on ability of this corrosive ice. Once locked onto a target, it would pursue it like a leech, impossible to evade, except in a head-on collision. Its lock-on duration could last up to a minute. Douluo Yan had never used this spirit skill before, because this was the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition, not a life or death battle, so such a lethal technique was unnecessary. However, the 3-person spirit fusion skill, Demon Charm, was more than qualified for this role. Douluo Yan's icy and elegant figure stood tall in midair. She waved her hand forward, and 7 or 8 drops of icy blow liquid shot directly at Yibai and Demon Charm, enveloping them. Yibai, of course, saw Douluo Yan's attack, so he charged forward with a powerful strike. A flash of lightning interrupted Yibay's innate soul skill, moonslaying. Though it was only a moment, it was enough. Yibai counterattacked, piercing the moon blade in Yibay's hand with the hilt of his thunder blade. He then moved behind Yibai and used his body as a lock, encircling her. Seeing the icy blow liquid rapidly approaching, and Yibai firmly holding it, Yibai grew anxious and struggled frantically. "You lunatic. Aren't you afraid of death?" But Yibai remained silent, still using all his strength to hold it tightly with his body and hands. The icy blue venom corroded Yibai's soul shield, making a sizzling sound. With Yibai's assistance, Yibai was unable to block it. Of course, he himself was also exposed to it. Almost instantly, Yibai and Yibai fell. The demonic charm disintegrated, and Ziyu, Hulina, and Yan fell to the ground, their eyes narrowed, looking very weak. The demonic charm's spirit fusion technique had helped them share some of the cold poison, and with Douluo Yan controlling the poison's power, Ziyu and the other two were not in danger. Yibai was, of course, faking it. Douluo Yan approached him, placed a hand on him, and pretended to detoxify him. Seeing Yibai stand up, while the spirit hall's 3 remaining Soul Kings, Ziyu and the others, collapsed, the referee shouted, "The spirit hall elite team has been completely incapacitated. The winner of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition is Wuji Academy." As the referee announced the winner, the entire arena erupted in cheers. Although the attendees were spirit masters residing in Spirit City, they viewed it as just another ordinary match. After the referee's announcement, Yibai and Douluo Yan approached the 3 and detoxified them. The poison of the ZHU King Ice Toad can be recovered by the one who released it. Excellent. Excellent. Bibidan clapped, uncharacteristically calm. Douluo's face froze, and Ghost Douluo's mask made it impossible to see his expression. However, if Wuji Academy had truly not taken any action after Hulina and the other 2 were poisoned, Bibidan wouldn't have acted like this. Although she was cold-blooded and cruel, she was at least sincere towards her disciple, Hulina. What a thrilling match. After the match, Ningfeng's regained his smiling face. To be honest, Yibai's performance made him want to introduce his daughter to him. "Well done, Yibai." Yu Xianheng shouted loudly. Yu Xianxin's temperament was relatively calm, but the curled corners of his mouth also revealed his current mood. No matter what, Yibai had the shadow of the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, so they believed that Yibai's victory in the competition was also an honor for the Blow Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex clan. Chapter 145 Soulbone Reward, Impulsive Rabbit. The next day, the atmosphere remained as lively as ever. Perhaps it was because this was the first finals of the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition held in Spirit City, or perhaps it was because the prize for the champion was a spirit bone. The Blood River treasure. How many Spirit Masters would never see it in their entire lives? The 8 teams competing in the finals were all present. The Spirit Hall Elite team looked disapprovingly at the Wuji Academy's team. Please welcome the Pope. With the voice of Spirit Hall's Platinum Cardinal Salus, everyone looked forward with solemn expressions. With a swish, the guard knights standing guard on either side of the Spirit Hall in Spirit City moved in unison, kneeling on one knee, and chanting in unison, "Welcome to the Pope! Welcome to the Pope! Welcome to the Pope!" This was the face of the Spirit Hall Pope. Amidst the endless cheers of respect, Bibi Dong, clad in a magnificent golden robe and crown, exuded an aura of majesty and inviolability. For the first time at this tournament, she made a full appearance, rather than remaining on the podium as before, where everyone could only glimpse her. To the best young generation from the continent, I've witnessed your competition. You're all outstanding. As the most respected Pope of the Spirit Hall in the eyes of many Spirit Masters, Bibi Dong naturally needed to make a statement. Then, Platinum Cardinal Salus continued, "Please invite the champion team of this tournament, the representatives of Wuji Academy, to come forward to receive the championship prize." Yan Yibai stepped forward to receive the prize. This was the first time Bibi Dong saw Yan Yibai up close. She opened her mouth slightly and said, "Your performance was outstanding. I hope you will continue to work hard and make outstanding contributions to the Spirit Master world." Bibi Dong's voice was deep and magnetic. She first praised the entire Wuji Academy, then turned to Yan Yibai. "Yan Yibai, you are outstanding. From being an 18-year-old Spirit King to absorbing a 10,000-year Spirit Ring at the 4th Spirit Ring." Bibi Dong paused for a moment. "You're an exception. Your success is unprecedented on this continent. You're outstanding. Thank you, Your Holiness, for the compliment." Yan Yibai remained kneeling on one knee, his right hand resting on his chest, his left hand clasped behind his back. "Would you like to join my Spirit Hall?" Bibi Dong's calm eyes gazed at Yan Yibai. Bibi Dong's words made many present nervous. This included Yu Xiaojun, Yu Xianheng, Yu Xiangxin, and others. They knew that Yan Yibai had previously been neglected within their own clans. The Spirit Hall was, however, stronger than the Blue Lightning Tyrant clan, possessing greater resources. Furthermore, with Yan Yibai's talent, he was undoubtedly a prime candidate for training. "Thank you, Your Holiness, for your kindness. Your invitation is undoubtedly a great affirmation of me," Yan Yibai said politely. "However, I already have a wish. I want to remain at Wuji Academy, train more outstanding Spirit Masters for this continent, fight evil together, and protect the peace left by the angel gods." Yan Yibai's words were quite insightful. Although he rejected the Spirit Hall's Pope Bibi Dong's recruitment, he approved of the Spirit Hall's actions. His words were empty and grand, but they were very effective, weren't they? "Oh. Stay in Wuji Academy, train soul masters, and safeguard peace." This sounds like a lofty ideal. But you know that the Spirit Hall is also committed to improving the strength of soul masters and maintaining order on the continent. Moreover, what we can give you is far more than what Wuji Academy can match. Yan Yibai, I know the greatness of the Spirit Hall, and I understand what it means to join the Spirit Hall. But for me, Wuji Academy is not just a place for me to learn and grow. It is more like my home. Here are my teachers, my friends, and the days we have struggled together. I hope to be here, in my own way, to contribute to this continent. Compared to other fame and fortune, I prefer to cultivate more outstanding soul masters. Good. Courageous. Bibi Dong suddenly applauded. Her applause was crisp and powerful, and instantly broke the silence at the scene. "I respect your choice, Yan Yibai. But please remember, the Spirit Hall's doors are always open to every Spirit Master with a heart of justice. If one day you change your mind, you will always be welcome in the Spirit Hall." Bibi Dong did indeed intend to win over Yan Yibai. Although she had long since resolved to overthrow the existing order of this world and establish a new one, that new order still needed someone to manage it. However, this new order was one that could accommodate and understand Yu Xiaogang. Honestly, she admired Yan Yibai's birth and subsequent cultivation. Although he had made friends with some who had some grudges against the spirit hall along the way, that wasn't a problem for the powerful spirit hall, was it? Crucially, although Bibidong was the pope of the spirit hall, it still had the worship hall to check it. Bibidong recognized Yan Yibei's talent and believed that, if she accepted him, he would become a powerful weapon against the worship hall in the future. However, this was all premised on Yan Yibai being accepted into her fold. Bibidong waved her hand, and Salus, the platinum cardinal of the spirit hall, stepped forward, carrying a brilliant golden box. Salus arrived before Yan Yibai and opened the box. "Congratulations," Salus said stiffly, then handed the golden box to Yan Yibai. "Thank you." Yan Yibai accepted it. After handing it to Yan Yibai, Salus said, "The prize for the champion of this tournament is 3 10,000-year soul bones. The exploding flame right arm bone, taken from the 30,000-year-old red flame beast. The extremely fast chasing wind left leg bone, taken from the 30,000-year-old wind demon tiger. Finally, a soul bone taken from the 60,000-year-old holy illusion demon ape, the condensed spirit wisdom skull. This 60,000-year-old condensed spirit wisdom skull was obtained along with the 9th soul ring by His Holiness the Pope when he broke through to level 90 and became a titled Douluo," Salus said proudly, having participated in the event. "Mighty Pope. The Pope's divine powers are unparalleled. The Night Guards were the ultimate atmosphere enhancing force, chanting praises of Bibidong. 60,000 years. The atmosphere at the scene was somewhat lively. Although the tournament had already announced the champion's prize, 3 spirit bones, no one had expected the quality of these 3 spirit bones to be so high, with the final head spirit bone actually being a whopping 60,000 years old. Yan Yibai was still wondering why a certain rabbit hadn't appeared when he glanced over and saw that, over at Shrek, Xiao Wu was being held tightly by Tang San. Chapter 146, Ning Feng's his plan. Shrek Academy didn't win the championship this time, so their attention wasn't drawn to the 3 spirit bones, and they ignored Xiao Wu. Just now, upon hearing that the spirit bone came from the spirit beast, the holy illusion demon ape, and Bibidong's 9th spirit ring, Xiao Wu's eyes flashed red, and she rushed forward like a madman. Fortunately, Tang San was quick-witted and grabbed Xiao Wu. Yan Yibai felt a pity for this scene. He had always thought that rabbit was completely clueless. Clearly a spirit beast transformed into a human, yet she brazenly dared to come to Spirit City, home to the largest number of titled Douluo. While he didn't know what treasures she had acquired to conceal her identity, Yan Yibai admired her fearless act. It was a shame that her wish didn't come true, nor did Yan Yibai's. If Xiao Wu had truly rushed out, and her identity had been revealed, it would have been extremely beneficial to him. Tang Heo would have surely appeared, distracting the spirit hall's attention. However, what Yan Yibai didn't know was that Xiao Wu's identity hadn't been revealed despite being stopped today, which was actually a good thing for him. That night, at the Wuji Academy's hotel in Wuhan City, "Are these the 3 champion soul bones from this tournament?" Oscar's eyes sparkled as he gazed at the 3 soul bones, encased in a brilliant golden box. Not only Oscar, but the others also kept their eyes fixed on the 3 soul bones. The right arm bone, representing exploding flame, radiated a crimson glow. The left leg bone, representing swift wind, shone a cyan light, and the skull of wisdom, representing spiritual concentration, shone a pure white light. The faint radiances of these 3 soul bones didn't interfere with each other, allowing them to sense the hidden power within even from a distance. "Boss, the 3 of you should quickly absorb these 3 soul bones." Oscar, after admiring them for a moment, raised his head and said to Yan Yibai, "If it weren't for you, none of us would have made it to the finals, especially you, boss. If it weren't for you holding up against the Spirit Hall's 3 Soul King's fusion skills, we wouldn't have had a chance of winning." Oscar had previously received the immortal herbs Yan Yibai had given him, and with the boost they had brought him, he was content. "Oscar is right, I have no objection," Ni Yushan said solemnly. "Me too." Yang Tae followed Ni Yushan's words. Yang Tae and Ni Yushan were already content to join Yan Yibai in defeating the Spirit Hall. After all, their original goal in joining the Wuji Academy team was to destroy the Spirit Hall's sense of pride in dominating the championship and recoup their interest early. Yi Lingling didn't say anything. but her eyes spoke volumes. Yes. In that case, Feng Zai Ocean, take this extreme speed chasing wind left leg bone. There's only one soul bone here that's perfect for you, with its wind attributes. Okay. Feng Zai Ocean didn't refuse. This skull of concentrated wisdom, Yanzi, you take it. Douluo Yan didn't refuse. He knew Yan Yibai already had one, and couldn't absorb this head soul bone. The others wondered why Yan Yibai didn't absorb it himself, but they didn't ask any further questions. After all, this was their business. As for these last pieces of right arm bones of exploding and burning flames, I'll keep them for now. It was a pity that none of the 7 of them had a fire attributed soul master, otherwise this soul bone would have been put to much greater use. Oscar and the others felt that, even if Yan Yibai wasn't a fire attributed soul master, he could still absorb it. While the effect might not be optimal, soul bones were rare to begin with, so there was no need to be picky. Oscar and the others left first. Before the night gets too long, you two should hurry back and absorb the spirit bones. While spirit bones are valuable, they're also coveted. Only the strength you acquire truly belongs to you. Increased strength will allow you to better protect yourself. 3 days later, Feng Zai Ocean and Douluo Yan successfully absorbed the spirit bones, and their strengths increased significantly. Feng Zai Ocean was already on the verge of a Soul King breakthrough, and after absorbing the spirit bone, his spirit power soared to that level. However, the exact level of spirit power would only be known after absorbing the 5th spirit ring. The left leg bone of Swift Forward has a bonus skill, the Flying Key Slash. Activating this skill significantly increases speed. Simultaneously, the left leg gathers spirit power, enhanced by the spirit bone, transforming it into a sharp blade. While rapidly approaching enemies, it can deliver a series of slashing blows to multiple enemies with its left leg, a group attack. After absorbing the Skull of Wisdom, a condensed spirit of 60,000 years, Douluo Yan's spirit power reached level 58, and level 59 is not far away. The Soul Bone skill, Purple Extreme Divine Light, is a dual action, physical and spiritual, penetrating single target attack. Due to its concentrated attack power, the resulting single target destructive force is extremely terrifying. Its power is proportional to its spiritual power output. It consumes little spiritual power, and the more spiritual power it outputs, the greater its attack power. Yan Yibai had yet to absorb the 30,000-year-old right arm bone of exploding, burning flames. His current soul power cultivation level was at level 55. Are you ready? Let's set off now. This journey may not be smooth sailing. Outside the gates of Wuhan City, at the temporary headquarters of the Xiandao Royal Knights, the Wuji Academy met with Crown Prince Zuking. Thank you for your concern, Your Highness. Yan Yibai replied with a smile. Ha 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 ha, you are heroes of the Empire, this is no problem. However, Yan Yibai was quite surprised to see members from Thunder Academy, Blazing Academy, the Xiandao Imperial Academy, and Xianshu Academy all present at the Xiandao Royal Knights headquarters. Perhaps Zuking also believed that there was strength in numbers. When he couldn't openly use his hidden powers, strengthening his team would give him more confidence. For unknown reasons, the Shrek Academy team left the tournament on the first day after the competition. Tang-san, worried about Xiao Wu, left early. However, Ning Rangrang of Shrek Academy left with Ning Fengzi. Although Ning Fengzi left Spirit City, he didn't go far. He chose not to join Zuking and the others. Of course, this was also because Ning Fengzi understood how to maximize benefits. Providing timely assistance was far more profitable than simply adding icing on the cake. After Zuking, Yan Yibai, and the others left Spirit City, those with greedy intentions slowly began to act. They became even bolder when they learned Ning Fengzi wasn't accompanying them. Ning Fengzi was accompanied by a titled Douluo. Had he been there, they wouldn't have dared to act. But their thoughts mirrored Ning Fengzi's. He wanted them to take action, so he could show him mercy. The 4 titled Douluo in the comics are about to appear. During this period, my time is extremely limited, and I have no time to rest. 6,000 words is a bit of a stretch. Let's stabilize this period first. Chapter 147 The 3 Soul Fighters Plan. This is already the 3rd wave. After Yan Yibai and the others left, they were indeed being targeted. In just 5 days, since leaving the city, they had already repelled 3 waves of invading enemies. and each time, a Soul Douluo led the attack. However, the Xiandao Royal Knights were formidable. Their leader, Roxan, was also a Soul Douluo level Soul Master, and the instructors leading the various academies were all Soul Sages. This combined strength prevented their group from suffering significant damage. The invading forces did suffer some losses. Wu Meng asked, Fang Hu, what's up? Are there any powerful Soul Masters hiding out there? In a certain cave, 2 people were inside, while more guarded the area outside. These people were divided into 3 groups, clearly belonging to 3 different factions. Didn't you try it out? The man named Fang Hu, after entering the cave, sat down on the rock closest to the fire. Upon hearing this, he sneered. After retorting, Fang Hu turned his attention to the last person in the cave. Perkins, we've dealt with them quite a bit, and we know each other pretty well. Have you sensed the presence of a titled Douluo from them? Perkins, a level 80 to control type Soul Douluo with the Tree of Fear Spirit, had joined the Spirit Hall with his family years earlier. Because he'd only recently joined the Spirit Hall, and wasn't a titled Douluo himself, though he'd earned the title of Cardinal, his status within the Spirit Hall was considered above average, and he couldn't participate in the Spirit Hall's core decisions. Unwilling to resign, he naturally coveted the Spirit Bone obtained from the Wuji Academy. He wanted the head Spirit Bone to strengthen himself and gain more power within the Spirit Hall. In the original timeline, titled Douluos appeared one after another, and with a titled Douluo as a foundation, how could they dare to act? But this time, since the start of the tournament, there had been no news of a titled Douluo from the Heaven Dao Empire, so their courage naturally grew. Perkins, we are partners now. How can you get anything done if you're hiding something? The last person in the cave said. This person was the final Soul Douluo involved in this incident, Wu Meng, a level 86 agility attack type cultivator, a casual cultivator. But even a casual cultivator could gather a group of people. Wu Meng's words were tinged with dissatisfaction, his eyes sharp as an eagle's as he stared intently at the elderly Perkins sitting by the fire. Perkins smiled slightly, his wrinkles deepening slightly, but his eyes gleamed with a cunning glint. Spiritual type Soul Masters, by the sound of their voices, possessed a high degree of brain development. They were synonymous with intelligence, cunning, and scheming. Brother Wu Meng, why are you so impatient? Since I, Perkins, have agreed to cooperate with you, I won't hide anything, Perkins said slowly, tapping the ground with his cane. Wu Meng snorted, clearly unconvinced by Perkins' explanation. He stood up, walked over to Perkins, and looked down at him. They have Roxan, that Soul Douluo over there. Although his soul power is at level 85, his martial spirit is quite troublesome. While there are rumors that he can temporarily unleash the power of a titled Douluo through the unity of his knights, if such rumors exist, they must be true. Roxan is already a threat. If they truly have another titled Douluo hiding in the shadows, then there's no need for us to stay here any longer. We can disband, Wu Meng said bluntly with a wave of his hand. HMPH. Perkins, if you still won't behave, then let's say goodbye. Fang Hu snorted coldly, his words tinged with threat. Fang Hu, a level 81 strong attack type Soul Douluo, is actually an outsider elder from the Fire Leopard sect, a lower 4 sect, with the martial spirit of Falling Flame Horse. The Fire Leopard sect, based in the Star Luo Empire, had already sided with the Spirit Hall several years ago. To demonstrate their sincerity, they sent Fang Hu, their brother-in-law, who had recently reached the Soul Douluo realm, to the Spirit Hall. Sending Fang Hu instead of their own Soul Douluo was also intended to temporarily confuse the outside world. The Fire Leopard sect was still within the Star Luo Empire. If they openly joined the Spirit Hall, they would face repression from the Star Luo Empire, and that was the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, the Star Luo Empire might secretly eliminate their members one by one. Hehe Perkins laughed softly. Don't be impatient, both of you. Impatience doesn't lead to good food. I've already conducted a thorough investigation before you made your move. Relax. Ning Fengzi, the only person in the Heaven Dao Empire who might be protected by a titled Douluo, also left before them. As mentioned earlier, Ning Fengzi didn't travel with Zuking and the others. This was a smokescreen, a preemptive illusion, to give the impression that he had already departed. So you can relax. Roxxon is the strongest among them. But to avoid any unnecessary accidents, we can go all out. Perkins's eyes narrowed slightly. The finals of the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition concluded in just 3 days. The fact that Douluo was in charge of Wuji Academy was no big deal for the top powers in the Heaven Dao Empire. After all, with their background, they could easily uncover such matters. However, the Soul Daoists who were eyeing Yan Yibai and the other Soul Bones weren't from the Heaven Dao Empire. The Fire Leopard sect, Perkins's family, and Wu Meng were originally from the Crossing Luo Empire. Even the Spirit Hall had only learned the information through its own channels. Therefore, these 3 people's understanding of Wuji Academy was only halfway complete, limited to the 3 Soul Daoists who had already made their presence known. The surprise Perkins mentioned referred to the arrival of Yang Wudi and several other Soul Daoists to support Wuji Academy. On the 3rd night, after they left Spirit City, the Sky Dao Royal Knights guarded the outer perimeter. Those guarding the inner perimeter were Zuking and the others. Late at night, the group, save for Yan Yibai, Feng Zai Ocean, Huo Washan, and Yu Xianheng, who patrolled the outer perimeter with the Sky Dao Royal Knights, retired to sleep. After 2 consecutive days of surprise attacks, they had to prepare. After their departure, a high-profile attack was launched. They refused to believe that the Spirit Hall was unaware of the situation, but they believed it had condoned it. Chapter 148 3 Forces Attack. Suddenly, a powerful soul pressure enveloped the entire headquarters of the Sky Dao Royal Knights. Ha 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 ha. He he. He he. 3 distinct laughs echoed throughout the empty space. Each voice had its own distinct character. Fang Hu's was a hearty and domineering laugh, Perkins's was a slight chuckle, and Wu Meng's was a strange one. The 3 Soul Daoists took the initiative, prompting the hidden Soul Masters, Soul Sects, Soul Kings, and higher level Soul Masters of all 3 factions to mobilize. HMPH. As soon as the soul pressure of the 3 Soul Daoists descended, a powerful soul pressure emerged from the headquarters of Yan Yibai and the others, pushing back the soul pressure of Parkinson and the others. It was Roxxon who had taken action. After Roxxon's attack, the previously suppressed Sky Dao Royal Knights recovered. Roxxon's strength was undeniable. Under the combined pressure of the 3 Soul Daoists, he single-handedly held his own against all 3. The vanguard troops, following the 3 Soul Daoist movements, were actually still some distance away from Yan Yibai and his men. Had they been too close, Roxxon would have spotted them long ago. The 3 Soul Daoist sneak attack was intended to temporarily immobilize the Sky Dao Royal Knights with their intimidation, buying their own minions time to charge. However, they underestimated Roxxon. Several Soul Sages within the base passed over Yan Yibai and his men, engaging directly with the opposing Soul Sages. The Jade Guards were incredibly powerful, holding off 2 Soul Sages alone. Upon seeing the Soul Masters closing in on them, Yan Yibai didn't hesitate, unleashing his 4th soul skill, Ice Fang Thunder Dragon Fist. As the saying goes, the first to strike is the strongest, the last to strike suffers. Kill. Yan Yibai shouted, after unleashing his skill. Led by Yan Yibai, some of the Sky Dao Empire's Royal Knights and the combat-capable Soul Masters from the 4 academies joined the fray. It was a battle of commander versus commander, general versus general, and soldier versus soldier. Both sides boasted spirit masters ranging from Soul Venerable to Soul Douluo, though Yan Yibai and his team were outnumbered, putting them at a slight disadvantage. Yan Yibai and his team had only 1 Soul Douluo, Roxxon. They had 7 Soul Sages, while the other side had 8. The other side had several more Soul Emperors. Soul Masters below the Soul Emperor level outnumbered Yan Yibai by about double. Yan Yibai unleashed his 40,000-year spirit skill. Icy cold and raging thunder instantly subdued a horde of enemies before him. There's no need to spare any lives. They're here to kill us. Showing mercy would be disrespectful, Yan Yibai declared, accelerating towards the enemy camp. Yan Yibai's claws transformed into dragons, his speed increasing with swiftness. He darted across the battlefield he had just controlled, swiftly harvesting the lives of his enemies. Not only Yan Yibai, but Feng Zai Ocean, Yu Xianheng, Huo Washan, and the others all performed exceptionally well. The recent commotion awakened those who had been briefly resting, and they all joined the fray. They were all top performers selected from the elite competitions of the top advanced spirit master academies. Those spirit masters eliminated by the advanced spirit master academies were naturally inferior. At this moment, Douluo Yan's power was evident. With a single strike, the attacking spirit masters before her felled one after another. Roxanne, do you think you can hold off the three of us alone? Fang Hu sneered, his voice as deafening as thunder. HMPH. Roxanne snorted, charging forward without hesitation. The enemy didn't know their true situation, but didn't he? Even before he arrived at Wuhan City, he knew that the Wujiang Academy had hidden protectors. Back at Xianjian Mountain, he had sensed a presence within the Wuji Academy that was no less powerful than his own. Besides Wuji Academy, he believed that Ning Fengzi, the leader of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect who had left early, would definitely not ignore Crown Prince Zuking. Yan Yibai and his group were also in trouble. Or rather, the individual performances of Yan Yibai and his group from the Advanced Spirit Master Academy were quickly over, as they were being targeted by those of a higher rank. The one who had come after Yan Yibai was a Soul Emperor. He had initially shown no interest in Yan Yibai and his group, but Yan Yibai had already killed nearly 10 of their spirit masters in a short period of time. If Yan Yibai continued killing like this, would they still have any respect? So you defeated the Spirit Hall Spirit King Spirit Fusion technique? Oh, interesting. Well, we have a grudge, but today, this will be your burial place. The Soul Emperor, adorned with 6 spirit rings, extended his flaming claws and attacked Yan Yibai. Boy, pay for your arrogance. It seemed that the Soul Emperor had heard of Yan Yibai's battle with the Spirit Hall from somewhere, rather than from an actual battle. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to make such boasts. If Yan Yibai unleashed his full power, even a lower ranked Soul Emperor would likely be defeated. Yan Yibai didn't indulge him in the slightest. He was never arrogant towards his mortal enemies, always giving them his all. Yan Yibai's spirit rings flashed, thunder gathering and focusing. Then, with even greater speed, Yan Yibai dodged the Soul Emperor's attack and delivered a direct punch to his waist. The overwhelming force and destructive thunder shattered the Soul Emperor's protective spirit power, sending him flying several meters. Ahem. Boy, you're really courting death. He'd let his guard down and failed to dodge. Then, the Soul Emperor began unleashing his spirit abilities. Yan Yibai felt a strange sense of familiarity towards the Soul Emperor before him, and now he knew where it came from. He confirmed the Soul Emperor's identity. He was from the Fire Leopard sect, one of the 4 lower sects. No wonder he'd claimed there was some animosity between them. Yan Yibai didn't care whether the other party was prepared or not. He activated his 4th spirit skill. Meanwhile, not far from the battlefield, a group of people were hiding, using the surroundings as a cover. Well, are you sure there's no one else? It's definitely confirmed. If we don't count the titled Douluo, then those over there are all the villains targeting our Wuji Academy. Heh, old goat, it looks like there's someone we know over there, Niu Gao said playfully. He won't survive today. The so-called old acquaintance didn't refer to someone who knew Fang Hu, but rather those from the Fire Leopard sect. If the titled Douluo dares to come, the soul-breaking spear in my hand will be no pushover. Niu Gao. He was impressed by this person's pretense. As Yang Wudi's close friend, Niu Gao naturally knew his true combat power. Chapter 149 Yang Wudi with 9 soul rings. If the Spirit Hall really has the audacity to send out titled Douluos with you, me, and His Majesty Douluo here, we should be able to protect those little guys. Douluo was also there, but not with them. Perhaps it was because Douluo was a titled Douluo, while Yang Wudi and Niu Gao were still soul Douluos. Regardless of their relationship, there was already a huge gap in status. But if Douluo knew that even a titled Douluo like him couldn't defeat Yang Wudi, a soul Douluo, I wonder how he would feel. The Fire Leopard sect, Spirit Hall's lackeys, are collecting some profit today. Yang Wudi thought to himself, looking at Fang Hu not far away. The people Yang Wudi and Niu Gao brought with them were elite, 2 soul Douluos, 4 soul sages, and 10 soul emperors. Although small in number, they were formidable. Hey, wait for me. Yang Wudi had already rushed out, and Niu Gao said helplessly behind him. 3 soul Douluos versus 1. The difference between the two was clear. Ha 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 ha. Roxanne, prepare to die. 6th soul skill, fierce tiger sky shattering strike. As the only offensive type soul Douluo among the three, Fang Hu naturally shouldered the brunt of the damage. Just now, Perkins had seized an opportunity, taking advantage of Roxanne's fatigue, and unleashing his sixth soul skill, Soul Song, briefly suppressing him. Roxanne's heart tightened. By this point in the battle, both sides had already deployed their spirit forms to engage in combat. Roxanne's heart sank, and he braced himself to withstand the blow. However, at that moment, a sudden black spear appeared, interrupting Fang Hu's movement. Bang! Fang Hu's attack was instantly blocked, and the black spear struck him directly. Black energy and red flames collided and intertwined in the air, erupting in a deafening roar. Fang Hu stumbled, clearly caught off guard by the sudden attack. Wu Meng roared in anger. He hadn't expected anyone to come to his aid at such a critical moment. He turned to look in the direction of the black spear, and saw a black-clad spirit master slowly approaching. His expression was cold and indifferent, and the gleaming soul-breaking spear was already in his hand. Meanwhile, 9 spirit rings shone on Yang Wudi's body. At that moment, everyone from Soul Douluos to ordinary soul masters were stunned by the sight. 9 spirit rings. A titled Douluo. Wu Meng and the others were immediately stunned by the spirit rings on Yang Wudi's body. Didn't that old Perkins say there weren't any titled Douluos? Damn it. Wu Meng's face darkened, and he cursed inwardly. How is that possible? Perkins was also a little panicked. As a spirit attributed Soul Douluo, his mental power was already strong enough to detect the presence of a titled Douluo, but Yang Wudi's sudden appearance truly caught him off guard. Oh my god. Clan leader Yang is actually a titled Douluo. Oscar had been staying in the center of the base, protected by guards, while providing support to his own men. Seeing the sudden appearance, he recognized the figure as Yang Wudi, clan leader of the Puyi clan. Zuking, standing nearby, frowned slightly upon hearing Oscar's words, thinking to himself, is this Yang Wudi, clan leader of the Puyi clan? I never thought this Yang Wudi was also a titled Douluo. Haha, Wuji Academy is really well hidden. At this moment, Zuking's overall impression of Wuji Academy became more concrete. As Yang Wudi attacked, Roxanne seized the opportunity to break free from the control of the Soul Song. He recognized the figure before him. It was none other than Yang Wudi, whom he had seen on the Wuji Academy team during the Continental Advanced Spirit Master Academy Elite competition. However, he hadn't expected this Yang Wudi to be a titled Douluo. It was truly the feeling of a great hidden being, hidden in plain sight. Thank you for your assistance, Roxanne said to Yang Wudi, his tone respectful. After all, he was now looking at Yang Wudi, who possessed 9 spirit rings. The unique secrets of the Puyi clan were known only to a select few. Much like the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect, disciples of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect could never reach the Soul Douluo level unless they obtained the opportunity to obtain a celestial grade immortal grass. However, this did not hinder the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect's powerful position as one of the top 3 sects. The fundamental reason for this was that their spirit restrictions simultaneously granted them the power to crush those of similar spirits. The Puyi clan was clearly similar to the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect, their soul-breaking spear spirit reaching the 3rd place in the spirit rankings, a formidable force. Despite their long history, the Puyi clan had yet to produce a titled Douluo. Perhaps, like the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Sect, they also faced some kind of spirit restriction. However, this restriction posed a threat to the Puyi clan. Members of the Puyi clan who possessed the soul-breaking spear would spontaneously develop a 10,000-year spirit ring upon reaching Soul Saint level 70. After this ring appeared, they could add a 7th spirit ring. However, the Puyi clan's lack of a title Douluo didn't mean they had no chance. Perhaps rare treasures like immortal herbs could even overcome the limitations of the soul-breaking spear spirit. Yang Wudi's appearance had already caused Wu Meng and Perkins to consider retreating. Fang Hu, however, was even more direct. Upon seeing Yang Wudi's spirit ring and his spirit, he turned and fled. As a member of the Fire Leopard sect, Fang Hu was well aware of Yang Wudi's spirit. After all, they had been eyeing this spirit family for several years, intending to annex them. However, he had never heard of a title Douluo among the Puyi clan. Otherwise, the Fire Leopard sect wouldn't have the guts to do that. How could Yang Wudi let Fang Hu go? Yang Wudi charged forward with a gun in hand, his spirit rings lighting up. Yang Wudi raised the soul-breaking spear in his hand and threw it towards Fang Hu. Perkins and Wu Meng saw that the mysterious title Douluo was chasing Fang Hu, and they separated and fled in an unusually tacit understanding. The saying "I will die if my friend dies" was fully realized at this moment. However, could the two of them escape? 6th spirit skill, Iron Plate Rock Rhino. Niu Gao also arrived. He was a defensive soul Douluo, so his speed was naturally a little slower than Yang Wudi. He temporarily stopped Wu Meng, the agile attack soul Douluo. Humph. Roxon naturally would not let the last Perkins get away. 8th spirit skill, 10,000 Buddhas pay homage to the Emperor. Roxon used his 8th spirit skill on the fleeing Perkins. Chapter 150, titled Douluo, the Four Sons of the King's Flag. Niu Shan's arrival, accompanied by reinforcement, also joined the fray. With the addition of several soul saints and soul emperors, the advantage shifted to Yan Yibei's side. Especially with Yang Wudi's appearance and the flight of the 3 soul Douluos, their tentative alliance instantly collapsed. Each of them abandoned the fight and focused on escaping. They wanted to flee, but Yan Shaojun, Yan Yibai, and the others wanted to make these invading enemies pay a higher price. Boy, get out of here. The Soul Emperor engaged with Yan Yibai had already attempted to flee upon seeing Yang Wudi's 9 soul rings, but Yan Yibai held him tightly. He had never imagined that the Soul King he had so closely guarded would not let him escape. Blue Dragon Break. Yan Yibai responded with an even more ferocious counterattack. Damn brat. The Soul Emperor used his soul skills to defend himself, but his life was indeed short. Through a dark black spear pierced the Soul Emperor's defenses. Under the combined attack, the Soul Emperor was dead. The Soul Emperor's eyes suddenly widened, and he muttered something, but his voice gradually faded. Judging from his mouth shape, it was probably not a good word. Senior Yang-kun. Seeing the newcomer, Yan Yibai directly addressed him respectfully. Hahaha, you are worthy of being the pride of my Wuji Academy. You are actually capable of fighting a Soul Emperor. Good. Alright, you should be more careful yourself. I still have to deal with those scoundrels. With that, the soul sage named Yang-kun continued to hunt. As for martial ethics, haha, to talk about martial ethics with the enemy is to play with your own life. Interesting. They actually have a title Douluo over there. These cannon fodder are actually useful. They finally lured out the title Douluo hiding in the shadows over there. Hehe, it's said that Douluo is behind this Wuji Academy. Given Douluo's personality, if his granddaughter is here, he must be here too. Douluo? I never thought he could break through to the title Douluo level. But Douluo isn't to be feared. He's powerful, but that's due to his poison. If it's a one-on-one fight, the 4th one can handle him alone. They were right. Although Douluo was a title Douluo, everyone in the title Douluo community knew him as the weakest. However, after obtaining the immortal Great Kerang Tangshan Chrysanthemum, Douluo had undergone a significant transformation. Then let's act. The 4 men in white robes were also titled Douluos like Douluo. The 4 of them also have a resounding nickname, the 4 Sons of Wonky SZWQ. Their spirits are all wonky, weapon spirits, and they are all brothers. Although these 4 titled Douluo all wear white robes, the ornaments on their robes distinguish them. The black one is the eldest, a titled Douluo at level 93. The blue one is the second, a titled Douluo at level 92. The red one is the third, and the yellow one is the fourth, both at level 91. Having 4 Douluos in one family is a rare sight on the Douluo continent. Cultivating to the rank of titled Douluo requires considerable talent, but they are neither above average nor below average. Pope Bibidang's order to them was to kill the spirit master with the 10,000-year-old 4th spirit ring and retrieve the 3 spirit bones and the attached spirit bone in the boy's hand. The spirit master with the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus spirit should be eliminated as much as possible. The 4 sons of Wonky became titled Douluo only in recent years, and their joining the spirit hall is still unknown. Bibidang arranged for the 4 of them to avoid any connection between this incident and the spirit hall. While the identities of the 4 princes of the royal flag couldn't be concealed for long, by the time they were revealed, the spirit hall would likely have undergone new changes. Kuvlin, the leader of the 4 princes, shouted, "Your Majesty, those guys still have value. We can't let them all get away." Give them some hope. Let them continue to make their mark. Send them in. Yes, your majesty. Damn it. Fang Hu was steadily defeated by Yang Wuda's ferocious attack. He noticed the slaughter of the disciples he had brought with him, his eyes glaring, his heart filled with indignation. These were the sect's most outstanding disciples he had brought with him. If he could return alive, his kind brother-in-law would surely not let him go. However, just as he was distracted, Yang Wudi unleashed his 8th spirit ability. 8th spirit ability, shake the sky. Yang Wudi thrust his spear forward, distorting the very space around Fang Hu. Fang Hu felt an overwhelming force suddenly surge over him, his body involuntarily flung forward, landing heavily on the ground in a cloud of dust. Cough cough cough. Fang Hu sprawled on the ground, coughing violently, blood trickling from the corners of his mouth. He struggled to raise his head, his eyes filled with terror. No, you can't kill me. My brother-in-law is. Yang Wudi had no time for his nonsense. He had already demonstrated his strength, so why would he be afraid of threats? Before Fang Hu could finish his words, he was killed by Yang Wuda's spear. After dispatching Fang Hu, he drew his soul-breaking spear and rushed towards Perkins, who was being held back by Roxanne. Wu Meng had just escaped. Niu Gea was a defensive type Soul Douluo, while Wu Meng was an agile attack type. Wu Meng was determined to escape, and Niu Gea was unable to stop him. Perkins was completely panicked, and the people below him were completely frantic. However, just as Yang Wudi was rushing towards Perkins, the Soul Douluo from the Spirit Hall arrived. Along with them, a group of black-clad Spirit Masters joined the fray. These 3 newly arrived Soul Douluos immediately stopped Yang Wudi. 8 spirit rings emerged from each of them. However, the Spirit Hall's men arrived too late, as only one of their 3 chosen cannon fodder remained. The sudden appearance of the black-robed figure reassured Perkins slightly. Yang Wudi showed no fear, charging headfirst with his weapon. Niu Gea soon arrived, and with their perfect coordination, Yang Wudi and Niu Gea unexpectedly gained the upper hand. Separately, Perkins took advantage of Roxanne's distraction and used a force control to subdue him. But don't misunderstand, he had no intention of continuing and fled. Below too, with the arrival of the black-robed figure, the 3 original factions, feeling the pressure ease, fled one after another. Their leader had fled, so why would they fight any longer? HMPH. A bunch of losers. A voice rang out. Then, the 3rd and 4th of the 4 princes of the King's Banner appeared on the battlefield. Seeing that the original plan had failed, the expected cannon fodder fled, and the Spirit Masters of the Spirit Hall were still unable to defeat the opponent. The 4 sons of Wan Qi lost their patience. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.